Oh boy, here we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Super Old Game Saturday. Again, it took me a little bit of time to get the stream set up, but we're all set. We're back for Super Sonic Game Saturday. Every Saturday a month, or each month for a Saturday, we're playing a Sonic the Hedgehog game. We're playing one of the most controversial and infamous ones, and yeah, this is not a good one. I'm sorry, but we can get into this feasibly. This is Shadow the Hedgehog. This came out in 2005 for the Xbox, PlayStation 2, and GameCube. We're playing the Xbox version, which is quote-unquote the best version, but they all have got problems. Yeah, when this came out in 2005, this was running on the engine of Sonic Heroes, and this was the time when Sega was looking at the success of Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City and San Andreas, and were saying, you know what, we can go adult with this franchise too, even though Tezuka-san, who heads this franchise and oftentimes ran it straight in the fucking ground, has said, oh no, we're not gonna, go dark with this franchise. They responded to Miyamoto responding to the success of that game and said, quote, Mario will never start shooting hookers. I think Electronic Game Monthly asked him, would they ever go adult with Sonic? He said no, because it would cut the chain of, families who play this game. And then they made this, which would be one thing if it was doing it well, but to me, it's not. Not to mention aspects of the gameplay, but I can't complain too much. I did go out and buy this game myself, even knowing it's not very good, even when I played it at the time knowing it wasn't very good. But it seems like in the years past, or it's been about 15, 16 years since this game, it seems like the, vitriolic hatred of this has kind of died down a little bit. I think Sonic 06 helped that, but personally, I would say this is a little worse, at least on taste grounds and on some aspects of its quality. But we are going to be playing Shadow the Hedgehog tonight. We're taking the good with the bad as far as the Sonic stuff, and despite that preamble, it sounds like I'm really mad at this game, and I was mad at this game when it came out, but despite all that, I'm still looking forward to this playthrough for a couple of reasons, because what Super Old Game Saturday is, if you've never been here before, it's basically, I play a game, either I want to play, or the chat sometimes will suggest a game, and we want to have a conversation, a nice, communal element, the idea that we're all kind of coming together, playing video games, talking about the game we're seeing, insights we might be seeing. So this game is a path system, and this is fitting. We played this right after we played Star Fox 64 last week. I'm going to show you how this works. We're going to go to select mode briefly. Here's how this works, and you're seeing these stars on the screen. That actually means that I've gotten A ranks on these things, so for a game I don't like, I clearly must be playing it a lot to get everything running. Also, you're seeing this game in, unfortunately, not glorious 1080p or 480p as is, because that's the max output. You can run this on the original Xbox. This is the original Xbox run this through. It does play on the Xbox 360 as well, and there might be issues with it when you run through it because it has software emulation elements. But as the point is that the way this game works is like Star Fox 64. You start at one level, and then based on your choices, you go to other levels, and there are a total of, all these stages, and they all go to 10 endings here. I had to play this game 10 times off screen to get each of these 10 little dots over here and get all these levels open, because you make these choices, you get all those 10, and then it opens up the last story, which we're going to be playing. I'm going to be going totally blind on the last story element of this tonight, but this is going to be the other case, because this is where I think it's going to be a little fun. You're seeing up there Hero, Normal, and Dark on the screen. You're seeing in this case I have A ranks, so yeah, I might not like this game. It doesn't mean I'm not that good at it. But anyway, what we're going to do is, when we start missions for this one, you have a choice of missions of which way to go. Basically, the idea is like Shadow the Hedgehog, who was introduced in Sonic Adventure 2, and this is a direct sequel to Sonic Adventure 2. We have a choice about what kind of character he's going to turn out. Well, sort of, until we get the last story, which is going to totally shit on that, with all due respect. But for the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the story mode, and this is going to be up to you guys. So we're going to play a new run of this game, and again, I have the last story there, so when we're done with that, we'll do that. Play through a new run of the story mode. You're going to tell me what path I'm going to take, and I'll do whatever you want. And if we have multiple people who are, I guess if it just comes to a tie, I guess we'll figure something out of a tiebreaker. But I want to do this because, well, one, it's a Sonic game. We're doing a month. This is the one for April. And next month, by the way, is going to be a much better one on the request of Electverse. He wanted to see Sonic and All-Stars Racing transformed, so we're going to show that. But also because I loved the idea of the show having this communal element to it. The people come in here every week or every so often. We have discussions and kind of get into the guts of gaming and elements of this, I guess feasibly, with this game, we can also talk about the idea of what happened in regards to Sonic. This was kind of the start of the so-called dark ages of it. And the idea of, like, what's going to go on with Sonic now. We're still waiting on confirmation on what's going to happen with it, what the next games are going to be. But what we're going to do for this one is we're going to go to that new game up there. When we get to the missions, it's going to be up to you to tell me which path I'm going to take. I'll do whatever you guys want. This is going to be your playthrough as much as it's going to be me playing it, while also me talking about some of the differences this has on the Xbox as we're playing it, and then it on the PS2 and the GameCube, which I think is where it seems like most people played this game. They've not played this version, from what I understand. It is not insanely rare on the Xbox. I mean, it's not Hour in 2006 Coast to Coast, which is, I think, the rarest Sega game on the system. But it does cost more than it does on the PS2 and the GameCube, and that's because it didn't sell as well on this system, because it came out right when the Xbox 360 did, and nobody wanted to pay attention to this. That was only about a year after that when the 360 backwards compatible for this game dropped. But with all that preamble out of the way, this was Sega going darker with Sonic and not having Sonic. Hi, Electverse. Welcome to the Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm not going to say goodness. I'm not going to say goodness. If you think goodness, tell me why on goodness, and we'll have some discussions on that. And you're going to help guide where we go when we start with this. I'm looking forward to this game for that reason, even though I have my qualms on it. I'm running the Xbox version. Let me know if you've played this game and if it was on Xbox or on other systems. What we're going to do, first, how this is going to work. We're playing one run of the story with your choices on how we're going to handle this. Then after that, we're going to go down to the last story, which I'm actually kind of doing blind. I've never actually done the last story. The way I did this, just to give you a brief little layout before I start, I played this game 10 times. Actually, the library will kind of show this screen. These are all the choices I made, and those little check marks over there. This game is pure evil. Okay, I guess we're not have a fan of this game, and if that's the case, what version did you play it, or what console did you play this? But point is, like, we're going to have choices on which way we're going to go. To feasibly get other endings than this, because this is what the library is, just kind of shows, and it does go different based on which path you take, and I guess these are all the 10 ways I played this off this in order to get to that. Played on the PlayStation 2. Okay, I've gotten that sense that seems to be... It's that one in the GameCube version, which seem to be the ones that seem to be played the most, whether it's just in general, or whether it's like a Let's Play concept. Let's Play concepts have seen the GameCube a lot. And I played it on the PS2. I've noticed some things about it compared to this one. This is sort of an improvement. Well, sort of. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's start this. Let's get to the story of this game, or the opening cutscene, which does look really good, because this is running on the same engine that Sonic Heroes did. So it has some pretty high-quality CG stuff, as explaining what the Fire in the Sky Festival is, and this is the 50th year of the Black Comet returning. And we Shadow the Hedgehog, who is sitting there reminiscing of the events of Sonic Heroes, but all I can remember is his name, because remember, in Sonic Heroes, he had amnesia after events of Sonic Adventure 2. We'll get to that game eventually. Now we're going back to the Ark, where he's running away with Maria, the daughter of Dr. Robotnik's granddaughter, and she is shot dead, and this cutscene is edited from how it initially was. This game had a teen rating before they released it. They cut that down to be a white flash to get this the E10 rating, and also I think they cut out some of its dialogue here and there. And it's that idea of going adult with the Sonic franchise, which, on its face, I'm not against. Sonic Adventure 2, I think, showed maybe the way to go about that, but this one, I don't think it worked as far as it... But anyway, while he's remembering that, we have the invasion of the Black Arms, and they're destroying Westopolis, the town over there. And other thing, I guess, to go into, let's talk the voice acting. This is Jason Griffith. His first appearance as Sonic, but also as Shadow. But we have someone else here. This is Black Doom. He is voiced by Sean Schimmel. Remember Dragon Ball Z? Goku, the main character in that show. Yeah, same voice actor. And we're getting into some interesting cases with that, but he knows something about Sonic, or Shadow as is, and he's like, what are you talking about? I don't know what's going on. And boom, explosions.
Just what was that all about? If he says he knows the truth about who I am, then like it or not, I have to believe him. The only way I'm gonna get the secrets to my past is to get those Chaos Emeralds.
Okay, so off we go. We're gonna try and find the Chaos Emeralds, and I guess get our memories back, so he wants. And that's where the choice system... Yeah, still shocking. Shocking in terms of the voice... Yeah, the fact that Sean Schimmel... That was a surprise to me, because you don't expect that, or you don't hear it. We're in the first stage, by the way, Westopolis. We'll get into that later, because I was looking into some of this stuff for the voice actors, and it was interesting seeing some of the other stuff they've done, and who voices certain characters. But anyway, and this is fitting. Like, first you wanted to see Star Fox 64 last week. We're doing another take with the path system for this, and it is a unique idea. And I remember when I played this, I said, as an Xbox owner, and this is the key of why I'm playing this on this system, A, because I played all the Sonic Adventure games on the Dreamcast, so I have that controller that plays a lot like it. And also at the time, I was playing a lot of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And I loved the choice of that, and it kind of going a little more adult with an established franchise in some ways, and it worked. Ironic considering Shadow's like Vegeta in this game. Yes, that is true, and I know the web series or the web comic Super Mario Bros. Z went into that, and that's a good watch if you've never seen that. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be an interesting experiment because, chat, you're guiding this game for us. And I thank you very much for showing up and for, indulging us on this entry in Super Sonic Game Saturday. And we're going to go the entire element of the franchise. Good, bad, in between, it's all here. So here's how this is going to work. Every level, we have at least 2 or 3 missions. And if you move left and right on the D-pad, you can get an idea of what they are.
Destroy the soldiers.
Okay, so according to Not Goku, he wants us to kill the gun forces. We can also...
There should be a Chaos Emerald somewhere in this city.
Say fuck him and go get the Chaos Emerald on our own, or...
Let's show the black creatures that we mean business.
And there is Sonic the Hedgehog, voiced also by Jason Griffith, and this is his first run as Sonic in the games. He was also in Sonic X before this. And it's going to be an interesting case, because this is basically, if we do this mission, this is going to be Sonic talking to himself. To a certain extent, because he voices both Shadow and Sonic. So, alright. Oh, I was like, one other thing. Let me hit the Y button here. It also this way on the GameCube, and I think it's triangle on the PlayStation 2. They show you the little idea of where the map is, so it gives you a little picture of where you're going to go, depending on what mission you do. So, what we're going to do is, chat, you tell me, and we'll go easy on this, for you to tell me what we're going to do and how we're going to go. So I'm walking around. Also, you have guns. This is the other change in this. I guess... I'm going to think that Sega was looking at not just Grand Theft Auto, they were probably also looking at Jak 2 and Ratchet & Clank, and they said, okay, we can do gun combat in this game. It's not as good as those games, because you can move around and shoot, hitting X, A is jump, and you also have the homing attack, which is really the first 3D Sonic, by the way, we're playing. You also can hold the right trigger, and you do a little bit of a strafe, which can sometimes be useful, but not completely. But anyway...
Long time no see. Looks like these black creatures really mean business. Let's you and me show them a thing or two.
Okay, so here's Sonic, and we can decide to help him defeat the black aliens with black arms, and you get that little marker. You can also use the D-pad if you press left, right, or down.
Come on, let's do it.
We can pull Sonic out and we say, no, go away. And I'm doing the left on the D-pad, it's going to beep beep. That means that I have not run into the dark character yet. In this case, it could be Black Doom, but we'll pull Sonic out. Also, there is a 2-player mode in this game, not just for the multiplayer, but also... I plug a second controller in. Feasibly, the other player can control Sonic right here, which is also something that Sonic Adventure 1 had. But anyway, we're going to walk around, and I'll keep doing this until chat tells me what they want to see. Okay, so, just to show that, yeah, I shot him dead in cold blood. Okay, not dead. He's going to beg me not to kill him. Like, yeah, we're getting a little distasteful in this game, and again, not for a reason that you... Here's the thing. I'm not against them necessarily going dark with this. I mentioned Sonic Adventure 2. And this ties into Sonic Adventure 2. The idea is in Sonic Adventure 2, you had a situation of Gerald Robotnik being tied up in a firing squad. Definitely dark stuff. But that game did a better job of rationalizing it than this one does. But here's the thing, we could kill the gun forces, shooting that guy, he'll literally beg me not to kill him, or Sonic will just do AI automatically and kill the black aliens, and when you do that, you get that little meter up there, giving you a sense of, I guess, how long you've got as far as, or I can just turn that off and get the Chaos Emerald. So, alright, I'm going to keep walking around. I'm going to wait on chat to tell me which one you want to do. So our choices are, again, we can kill the gun soldiers, the humans, we can kill the black aliens, although, for this you have to kill the black alien here, even if you're going for the evil or the neutral mission, because otherwise this cage won't open, and you won't get the Chaos Emerald. And it said there we have to find a Chaos Emerald. Basically, for the purpose of this, that means we're going to the goal ring, if we're doing that. But, here is Doom's Eye. This is Black Doom. He will have his eye on us. And we're going to go around and see the scripted events of the elements of the city blowing up. And that is... This is not Call of Duty, where that stuff is interesting and it doesn't get in the way or it enhances stuff. Sometimes you'll be running around, I'll go into that cloud, let me show that, right there. I can get myself hurt, but I'm not going to do that. Alright, so... Alright, so he's telling me to bring Judgment. Okay, that's one thing to do. I can also pull out Sonic and go into this hint box and tell him...
another weapon that's on the ground. Just press the B button. Personally, I wouldn't be caught dead using those things.
Yeah, like hell he wouldn't. Fast forward 3 years later when he's in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and you can pull out the gun for that. So yeah, Sonic is saying like, no, guns are not for me. But it's like, no, not in Smash Brothers, it's not. And some of you would say, well, oh, what about the sword in Black Knight? That I have a little more of an understanding for because it's based on, you know, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. But yeah, so that's the other thing. Okay, so I can go around, I get hit by that, and I can also hit Y button to do that. You can also use the homing attack to kill enemies, but it does not hurt them very much. Okay, the humans go down in one shot. The Black Arms don't always, because they have varying health bars. In a lot of ways, it's kind of a replacement, or the gun element is kind of a replacement for the power stuff that Sonic Heroes did. But also, you have those meters up there. There's red and blue. The red is your evil gauge when you do anything evil, which is killing innocent people, or even doing something as seemingly benign as, let me see if I can find one of these things, or run off and die.
Damn, not here.
And also hear the other aspect of this game. Yeah, they put language in the Sonic the Hedgehog game, although to be fair, there was language in the Sonic games going back to Sonic Adventure 2 on the Dreamcast, and actually with Sonic X, Sonic is swearing up a storm. But I was just saying, okay, I shot him in the back. There you go. And that takes up my evil meter, but also destroying a box. I have to do that in order to get, you know, ammo or stuff like that, because you have ammo over there as well for that. You hit X to shoot your weapon. But also, the other thing about that is that that's considered an evil action. I always never understood that. Why is it that I'm busting a box and the game says to me, you know, that's evil. That's so horrible for me to be busting a box and, yeah, being punched in the face. Speaking of punching in the face, is he dead? No, I guess not. Alright. Alright, so I'll grab the Chaos Emerald, and again, it's going to be up to you in the chat to tell me what direction you want to go. I'm going to be dicking around, pretty much, if that's not the case. Also, when you do have the characters selected, it puts a little icon over the heads of the humans when you have Black Doom on board. And it sometimes does it with Sonic. It's a little weird how that works, because it doesn't always... It seems like it's proximity... Okay, it's proximity-based. Instead of weapons, they should have expanded Shadow's Chaos Power. That's an interesting idea, and that's something that I would... I mean, to a certain extent, Sonic Adventure 2 got into that. A little. And actually, it's not... Here's the thing. This game technically did do that, sort of, because when those bars go up, you get abilities of his powers. You get Chaos Control, which is the blue meter, and you get that, it means that you dash through the level. So if I'm going through trying to kill all the Black Arms aliens, I go past them, that's not worth it. Unless you're running through the level for, like, the gold ring or something, in which case, there you go. But, and also you have Chaos Blast if you build up the evil gauge, and what that does is it's a screen nuke, basically. It destroys everything on screen feasibly. The other thing also, when we get the meter up, and I'll keep going to this, I mean, at this point, here's the thing when I'm doing that. I mean, besides that, fair enough, but worth pointing out, what I will say is that I think for the purpose of this now, I'm just going to be just doing everything here, but this is not going to be good for scoring, because you have a ranking system, same way Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Heroes had, and depending on how that works is that, depending on what mission I end with, if I do the hero or the villain path, my points will be deducted accordingly. So if it'll take all my evil points if I go the evil mission and kill all of the gun troops, or it will take my good points, and then the evil points or the good points get deducted at the end. Okay, there we go. I filled the one bar, and he's going, "Ugh, death to all who oppose me." Alright, now you have infinite ammo, by the way. This is actually probably the best way to go about this. But if I get into the area somewhere, let's do this. Chaos Blast! And it blows up, and there you go. You get 2 usages of that before the bar goes down. And also the other thing is you have infinite ammo, which is very useful. Particularly to get other weapons. Especially because you have to be managing your ammo as you go along. Actually, also one other thing I might as well show off is, let's go backwards. Which going backwards in a 3D Sonic game like that is always not a good thing, but we're going to do it anyway. Because I want to show off the triangle jump. And you can kind of run on the walls. I'm doing it towards the camera, which I've never done before, but Sonic Heroes had this as well. You jump on the wall, homing attack into it, and you can kind of run off for like 2 or 3 seconds. It's really weird because when you get to the end of the wall for that, you have to basically be right there in order to jump, because I've missed jumps all the time. Okay, here is Chaos Control. I'll show you. Chaos Control! And with that, you go through the entire level for as long as that bar goes, unless you use an exploit, which I do not know how to do, which is, I think when you go on a checkpoint, you're able to trigger the Chaos Control activation button. In this case, it's Y. Also, the other thing you can do is hit the B button to turn over this bus and crush everything. If you do that, you have infinite chaos control. Alrighty, so I just did that for the purpose of showing it. If I'm, depending on what missions you guys want to see me do, what paths you want me to go down, yeah, I don't want to do that depending on how that is. And I'll show off the thing. That's a checkpoint, by the way. I feel if they did that, the game would have been more positive. Fair enough. I would say this, I would probably like it if they just cleaned up elements of the controls and elements of the physics. And speaking of physics, let's talk about this. There are cars in this game. This makes Tony Hawk's Underground, the sections you're driving in vehicles in that game, look like Gran Turismo in terms of how, you know, the physics are. It's very clunky. And you also have to... I'm playing on Xbox, as I said. When I play a driving game on Xbox, I love using the right trigger. I'm not using the right trigger here. I have to use the A button. And for reversing, you have to hit B. Actually, is it B? Hold on. Hold on. So wait, I guess I don't have reverse. Alright, so I'm just driving around in my car, although technically I don't run as well. Okay, B is brake, but I can't reverse. Or maybe there's certain vehicles you can reverse, either way. Also, you do have the, I guess I can't show it here, the Lightspeed Dash, which seems like it's a little better because they give you like a string of rings and they keep replenishing, and they put it on the button, but we'll see that later, depending. Alright, but in the meantime, let's just keep going. I'm being the complete, you know, altruistic one here because I'm killing the gun soldiers and I'm killing the aliens, so that's what's going on. And also, you do have the slide from Sonic Adventure 2 and, okay, me getting shot off screen. Also, the camera control is on the right analog stick this time. It is not on L and R or left and right trigger the way it was for the past couple, which I usually like that when playing on the Xbox, but it is very weird doing that. Alright. Also, the other thing about the allegiance there is that I have the selection of Black Doom on screen just because of that. If I kill... I mean, killing the gun soldiers for this, but if I run into those, you know, the Black Arms people, you know, then, there you go. Next mission, do Hero Side. You're talking about... You want me to do Hero now, or do you want me to... Because that's going to depend on which one you want to go. Which way do you want me to go? I can feasibly walk right into the goal ring here, and we'll go into the neutral path. I'll come back there, because there's a checkpoint. We can do transportation on that. I guess I'll go down and try and avoid this helicopter. Don't hit the blades. It's very weird when you hit the blades. I could do that. Oh, right. There's a robot that's coming down. Or I can kill the rest of the gun soldiers, or I can kill the rest of Black Arms. So it's your choice. Chat, whatever you want me to do, I will do. In the meantime, I'm just doing everything to be for everyone. So I'll just use the Chaos Blast to blow these guys up. That should not cause the... Alright, so I'm a traitor. That's fine. Okay, now here is the checkpoint. It is not the star post or layup post or whatever it is for the other games. But yeah, when you stand on these, hit the B button, you're able to go back to certain areas. Kill the gun soldiers. Okay, let's kill the gun soldiers. We only have about 6 left. Alright, well, here we go. I'm liking this. Yeah, you know what? Let's bring Sonic and kill the gun soldiers. I mean, I remember seeing a couple Let's Plays of this saying, they utilized the idea of the 2-player and said, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna have Sonic the Hedgehog go around, kill the gun forces because, hey, the gun forces stole or kidnapped or incarcerated Sonic in Sonic Adventure 2 purely on racism grounds, and we're gonna, unfortunately, I think, have to touch that when it comes to this game and the connotations of people saying that this game, and the fact that, let's be honest, this game would never be able to be released nowadays. Quality aside, that alone, this game would never be allowed to come out. And also, sometimes we'll do a switch randomly, by the way, for characters. Or, what do you know? Because I'm trying to keep an idea on, you know, how many gun soldiers we can kill. Alright. But, alright, we're going to get the revenge that way. And we have only 5 more to go. They do give you a little bit of a layout of what they are. And it is... I'll say this, it's a little better than the Chaotix missions in Sonic Heroes, of which this is a lot like. In that you have checkpoints and things, but in a lot of cases, we're going to miss maps. We're going to miss maps, for sure, for the purposes, and also avoid those things. Alright, I missed this because I did a transport behind that. Also, you do have, hit the B button, you have a spin dash. Ready, go! Alright, you can roll underneath things the same way you did in the other games, and yeah, we're gonna have much more fun when I do Sonic Adventure that way, but despite all I'm saying, I'm still having fun doing this just because, well, look, I'm saying this isn't a very good game, but I made the conscious decision to go buy this, and that's a shield, by the way, same way the Sonic games work, I can take one hit with it, but I made a concerted effort to go out and buy this, because I said, okay, my coworkers and I, my friends, we do Bad Game Thursday, the idea of games that aren't very good, So at some point, this game was going to come up, and I said, you know what, let me do this. Let me also go about this. And when I'm doing these streams, I said to myself, you know, I want to show this game off. I think this is going to be an interesting way to go about this. And I said, I want to play this and have the audience involved. So I can complain all I want. Then is this a guilty pleasure? Sort of. I'm going to say half and half. It's a guilt... Alright, here's the thing. I don't like this game very much. That being said, because... Okay, he's the last one there. I'll shoot him in just a second. But to answer your question, I'm a big enough Sonic fan, and I think you've understood that since you started watching the show, which was with a Sonic game. Okay, that was another thing. I'm glad I did that. You do have idle dialogue, the same way you do in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. Where you just stand there, he'll just talk. But as a Sonic fan, I'm still wanting to, you know, get every game. And I'll say this. I mentioned last week that at some point we'll do Superman for Nintendo 64. At this point in my life, honestly, I take bad games in stride in the sense that I know that games are not very good, or there's games that are good and games that are not. Alright, we'll shoot him. But I still will play them, and when they're cheap enough, it's like, well, alright, I'll do this. And it gives a broader picture about the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, what it was like when it came out, and what we're at now. Alright, that's the Dark mission, so there we go. We got Dark points, but we also have Hero points, which take the time bonus away, or they have the time bonus and the points away, and we got an E rank. Oh boy. So, alright, so next mission you said you wanted me to do the Hero Path, so alright, we'll do that then. I mean, in that way, then, it's like, I bought this for the purpose of showing people and experiencing this with people. Also, I will not skip the cutscenes. I can't if I haven't seen them already, but since I had to play this game 10 times in order to unlock the last mission, or last story missions, we're gonna watch them. I watched your Knights playthrough. We'll come back to Knights at some point. That was the Saturn, really, or that was the HD version. And I also have the Christmas portion at some point. We'll come back to that, because my girlfriend has the Saturn version. It was a fun time. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying, I guess, what's going up on the site. I have one last stream from last year I gotta put up, which is for Symphony, or not Symphony of the Night, Castlevania Bloodlines. I need to do some editing on that, because I was worried of attritioning that too much for me to deal with the idea of putting it up in one case. I'm gonna cut that game down. These are hilariously edgy. To an extent, I guess the other thing, and I want to go back to this. You said one of your favorite voice actors for Sonic for the games was Jason Griffith. This is the first game that has the 4Kids voice actors doing the voices, and part of that was because Mike Pollock was replacing the late Dean Bristow when he passed away. But then what happened is Sega replaced the voice cast entirely with the people from Sonic X. And this is the first game they did. I think it's mixed in some elements, but more for the direction of the voices. But it's going to be very hilariously edgy and interesting to hear like some of these voice actors or actresses that we know for more family-friendly elements, particularly amongst the 4Kids dubs that they've done, getting to this way and talking about, "Hold still, you devil!" Well, we might see that, but if we don't, at least that's there. Okay, so Sonic's saying, no, yeah, they're not going to do anything.
Very impressive.
And there is Black Doom once again to give us good elements as far as us, you know, taking care of the gun soldiers.
Do you?
Yeah, that's what Roos said in Sonic Heroes.
But now, there's no time to waste here. Go and access the United Federation's mainframe. Understand?
Oh, right, so I remember then what the next mission is going to be and how fitting we're doing this while I'm doing an internet stream of this game. Alright, so the next mission on our docket. We went to Westopolis. Next up, we are going to the digital circuit. The voice cast was already replaced before Dean Bristow's death. Was it? Okay. Was the idea that... Because I know that Ryan Drummond, who voices Sonic... By the way, I'm in the internet, and I can kind of move left and right down these paths to, you know, try and get the balloons over there to get items. Mike Pollock says, so, okay. Alright, because I know Ryan Drummond has mentioned in some cases it was kind of a surprise to him, but, okay, I don't know the background, so thank you for providing that. Alright. So we're in the information superhighway system called cyberspace, which is just a group of tubes, or however it is they say that. Okay, that is interesting, though, but they did replace the voice acting. I was initially confused. I didn't know that Dean Bristow passed away, and I didn't necessarily mind the fact that it changed so much as like, wait a second, this is new, and then I got a little more into it later. Alright, so we're in the digital circuit. Let's take a look at what we got on our mission structure. Alright, that X, by the way, that means we do not have a mission for the neutral playthrough. So we have to either destroy the Crow program, or...
Help me find the Chaos Emerald.
or help Rouge find this Chaos Emerald. That is Kathleen Delaney as Rouge, not to be... I don't think she was related to, No. I'm trying to think of the name of the actress. She was in, Dana Delaney, from Exit to Eden, if you remember that movie. Oof. But, anyway, I don't think she's related, but she's voicing Rouge in this game, as opposed to whoever it was in Sonic Adventure 2, who... I know it wasn't this person. It always sounded like June Foray, the late June Foray, who voiced like Rocky from the Rocky and Bullwinkle Show, and the mother of the Beagle Boys in DuckTales and things like that. But okay, here she is.
What a coincidence running into you here.
So as we know from Sonic Adventure 2, she is a spy she wants to be a treasure hunter. She now works freelance for Gun, and we have to help her find the Chaos Emerald. And since that's where chat wanted to go, that's how we're gonna go. Alright, so how the digital circuit's gonna work here is that we have the spotlights there. Betty Rubble... Oh, in general? Oh, right. Okay. Oh, right, okay. Okay, see, it's funny, I never actually knew that was who it was, but you always learn something, and I was learning that when I was going through the voice cast of this game. Alright, so what I have to do in order to hit that searchlight is I have to jump into it, or I have to touch it. Or, wait, did I miss the enemy to hit it? Oh, or I got blindsided by the enemy from the camera. Alright, I'm gonna shoot him off camera. Hope I hit him. Okay, I didn't. Okay, let me kill him first, and then we'll go back and we'll go through the light. They always say, you know, run away from the light, but, Alright, so I guess we are the ultimate life form, or we're making the path of what he is, or this is the Super Sonic Game Saturday, or the Super Old Game Saturday method of how we're doing it. Alright, let me try... Alright, let me try jumping into that. If it doesn't work, I might kill myself, but we'll see what happens. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I just have to be right into it. And she says woo, and that's always one weird thing I thought about this game. They always sometimes like the music note for that. Also, up there, that is a roulette box. I hit that when an item is showing, I get the item, unless I hit the blank, and then I get nothing. Let me see what I can get. Alright, there's the fire shield. I could feasibly get that. It's not going to do much good. We'll see. Alright, there we go. So there's the fire shield. How does this level make sense? That can be applied to the entire story. Honestly. I would say, probably because they go into the internet. I mean, I'm not necessarily questioning that idea, but I mean, the idea of controlling the internet and controlling, you know, the transportation of data. To be fair, that's something we saw in a lot of 4Kids Elements. The, banned episode of Pokemon did that. Electric Soldier Porygon. I've seen it. I think there was on YouTube at one point. Basically, you had Team Rocket controlling the internet to manage the transport of Pokemon, and they put big stop signs like each end of like the tubes. So it's basically, if you control the internet, you control the world. But we have the fire shield. It will not protect you from these firewalls, by the way, so that is a disappointment. But what it'll do is it'll let you, I guess, take damage from fire enemies, of which I don't know where there are any in this game. And I would have thought, oh, the firewalls, but no, they don't do anything. Or that'll go away if I get hit by it. Maybe they're avatars. And that's true, too, because the other thing, let's talk about elements of 4Kids, sort of, and video games, because they kind of go hand in hand. There was Mega Man Battle Network, which is around at the time. I have very little experience in the franchise. My girlfriend's the one who has the knowledge more than I do. But that was the case of Mega Man, or elements of Mega Man within the internet. The idea of avatars, the net navis is the case. Everything I know comes from my girlfriend, by the way. When we ever do a Mega Man Battle Network game, it's going to be her leading us on that one. But anyway, I think that is a good point. You're right. The idea of their avatars, this was the day of like MySpace and things like that. MySpace is still around, although it goes more on music now, it seems like. And like the start of Facebook and things like that. But you're right, the idea of like their avatars and kind of controlling elements of the internet. So it's like, yeah, you have the power to do that. And because there was a 4Kids show of Mega Man Battle Network, it was Mega Man NT Warrior, I believe. So I think then they might have been thinking that, and I guess there must have been some kind of connection with the 4Kids stuff, not just the voice acting, but just the thought of, okay, we're going to be telling a story in some cases, and it kind of goes with elements of Sonic X, sort of, so that would make sense. Also, by the way, I picked up another item. This is like the... Alright, that's the sword. In fact, I could pick the sword up. Let's do that. You can switch buttons by hitting, or switch weapons by hitting the B button. And you do swipes with this, and you can kind of stay in the air like that, but only one swipe. But that is a good idea. I think that probably is what they're going on. Also, you have these little walls here. You have to beat them up. Or, if you run out of ammo for your weapons, or destroy the one, you have punches and kicks. It's basically the, I've heard this said this way. It is the punch-kick combo from Super Mario 64. You remember the, yeah, woohoo! That. It literally is that. But, yeah, so Shadow's doing it. But I think that's probably what it is. And there is another mission. I don't know if we're going to be seeing it the path we're going. But there's another mission called Mad Matrix, and what happens to that one is you go on the internet because, I think technically you have, Team Chaotix, you have SBO, you have Charmy, and you have Vector, who are in this game, like, doing work for, I guess, detective work as it is, trying to figure out elements of the internet so they get to go into cybercrime. It's not working, and then, Shadow comes in, he does what, you know, what Fonzie does on Happy Days. He hits the damn thing and it works fine. But then he goes on the internet and then it's like, oh, I gotta get out. Wait a minute, NT Warriors by Kids WB, not for kids. It was on Kids WB, yes, but I believe that the translation was done by For Kids. I think, is that right or am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong on that. If I am, let me know, because I've said this before. Just because I'm saying the things I'm saying for this, as far as information, stuff I'm aware of, that does not always mean I'm right. Sometimes I'm saying things that are totally wrong. Sometimes I'm misspeaking. Sometimes I'm saying something. I either assumed that was the case with the NT Warrior, or that it was, you know, not that, or if it was something else. It did air on Kids WB. I know a lot of the stuff that was... Okay, I don't think so. I'll take your word for it on that case, and as I said, if my girlfriend was here now... Well, unfortunately, I died. Alright. And unfortunately, I have to go back to the checkpoint. But if that was the case, then she'd be able to correct me on that one. I'm going to assume for the sake of that, it's not, but we'll see to that. I think maybe the reason I associate is because there was a lot of stuff on Kids WB that was, I guess, dubbed by 4Kids. Pokemon was one of them. I think there were a couple other things. And I thought some of the voice acting for that was the same. But, okay, maybe I'm wrong. But, alright, let me do what I should have done before, which is not jump backwards. Let me see what if I can get... Or nothing. Alright. I'm going to try and get the, what is it? What is it? The invincibility, but, because I don't know if I've actually heard the invincibility theme in this game. Because I know it is different than how Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and Heroes is. But anyway, we're still going through the circuit, and you, by the way, when you go through these, you can move left and right on the circuit in order to get everything. And I guess we're still going through to try and find the Chaos Emerald. Because I think that's what we're doing. Alright, got out of the way. Oh, okay, at least I showed what happens when you hit the firewall. You get hurt. I think it was Viz Media because they translated the manga. Okay, then that's what it was. Alright, it was Viz Media. Actually, that does sound right. So, yeah, I'll take that. Okay, so my mistake then. Let me just see something quick. Okay, so just find the Chaos Emerald because there's 2 missions. Alright, perfect. I remember how Digital Circuit works is that eventually... The other path, by the way, I think you go near the end, and then you, Then what happens is that the first element is going to where Rouge is, and then the other element is, you know, going a little past that, and then destroying the internet, or whatever he told me to do, which is, okay, head for the center, or okay, let's go. And okay, let's go. Alright, where is that enemy? I want to jump on that gun soldier so I can... You have to hit off them, and that will get the light to go, and then you want to homing attack off him again, and basically do the homing attack chain. Although it can be a little risky because of how the homing attack targeting works, although to be fair, that's been a problem with a lot of the Sonic games in 3D, not just this one. Alright, so off we go. What I will say about Digital Circuit, that is the end, by the way. That is the Chaos Emerald. It is owned by the government, and we're going to take it for ourselves. What I will say, though, is I do like this level in terms of how it looks. The level design is another story, but this was not too bad. They did Inuyasha and the same actors. Okay, then that makes sense, because I was a big one as far as Inuyasha was concerned, watching that constantly. And I do have one of the games we could show. I have Inuyasha Feudal Fairy Tale for the PS1, which by the people who made Sonic Advance, so actually thank you for bringing that up that way. Okay, I got a D. So that's a little better. And there's also Feudal Combat on the PS2, which I don't have. That's from the people who made Bloody Roar. And then there was The Secret of the Cursed Mask, which was an RPG that was actually not very good. But we have another character to introduce, the President of the United States, who is voiced by Matty Blaustein, the late Matty Blaustein, who voiced Meowth in Pokemon. I didn't believe it either. I was like, wait a second, that can't be right. But, yeah, she did. And she kind of loses herself in this. It's like, okay. But anyway, the CIA's mainframe's been compromised, so basically we broke into the government servers, they're not liking that. Basically, we were doing a cyber attack, pretty much. So at this point, it's like, well, the commanding generals are like, yeah, this is a terrorist threat. Because also remember, this came out in 2005, like a couple of years after 9/11, and also this game came out about 5 days after a terrorist attack in Jordan, like 100 people were murdered, which made it even more distasteful for this game to come out. And there's a picture of what happened at the end of Sonic Adventure 2, sort of. She? Yes? No? I thought so. I'll say this. I looked up on IMDb for this. I wanted to see, like, okay, I usually will go off the cuff on these things, but I know there are famous voice actors in this game, so I wanted to make sure that I looked up. It said Maddie Blaustein voiced the president, and she also apparently voiced Omega in Sonic 06, and I had no idea of that either. I was like, wait a minute, that's weird. And actually, one other thing, I don't know if we're going to see Omega, depending on which way you tell me to go this time, we might. They have the same voice actor for Omega in this game as in Sonic Heroes, the only character who's voiced the same between this game. I thought, yeah, and that is the skill of voice acting when you really think about it. The idea that you think, I mean, also because you don't necessarily know who's speaking when you just hear a voice, but the idea of losing themselves in a character, losing you in that character, and the idea of who is that, and then realizing that, you know, there's a lot of skill, like, because I know in a lot of cases, like, for a lot of cartoons, like, you'll have, like, young boys or children, like on the Rugrats, that's a good example. Elizabeth Daly, who is actually a musician, she did some music for, some vocal songs for the Scarface soundtrack. She voiced Tommy Pickles on that show, so it's like, alright, they do that usually, like, the idea of, like, getting the higher pitch, although in this case, this is an interesting case because it's more of an adult character as far as the president's concerned in this. It's not a younger character. So that was an interesting case. Also, we're gonna have another sort of famous voice actor here. Alright, here's Charmy B, and probably the best voice actor or actress that he's had. Alright, so she wants me to get top secret discs. We'll see one of them in just a second. Charmy is voiced by Amy Birnbaum, who, another interesting case. I know her in particular. She voiced Max from Pokemon Advance, the third season of Pokemon, or the Gen 3 variants of Pokemon. She also voiced Kirby, particularly in the Right Back At You show, which was also a, for kids element, but I believe also the games, because I think the Kirby voice in the games from 64 and I think Air Ride was the same as on the Right Back At You show. So, yeah, there you go. Kind of a surprising thing, but yeah. So here is Charmy the Beat. What he wants to do, let's go through the missions, by the way. We're back onto the neutral path because of the hero mission we took last time. Let's take a look at our story route briefly. Okay, so we're going sort of bad, then kind of good again. And so now we're back to having 3 missions. Now,
To find the Chaos Emerald.
we can go to the end and get the Chaos Emerald, so let's just get in Gold Ring for that. We can kill all the gun robots, here at least, because by the way, where we're at, this is supposed to be like, okay, this is Prison Island, I believe it was. This is an area in Sonic Adventure 2, we're coming back, and there's a lot of, you know, mossy elements that have grown here. And the other thing we can do is we can get the top secret discs for Charmy, because Vector wants us to get them, and they're these things, which, alright, that's interesting. It's basically a CD encoded into, like, a diskette. I'll tell you what those remind me of. They remind me of, remember zip discs? That's a very 2000 thing. Yeah, we will, feasibly, if that's what chat wants. Otherwise, we're gonna, you know, give Charmy the middle finger and say, like, no, we're gonna do whatever we want. But I guess it's fitting, because also this is the second time we've seen Charmy for the Super Sonic Game Saturday element, because we saw him in, yeah, we saw him in Knuckles Chaotix. Get the discs. Alright, we'll get the discs. That is an interesting case you're trying to get the discs, because when you're going for the discs on this one, you have to take very specific paths in order to find where they are. Alright, this is the B button, or that's the, you hit the B button to go over those things. That's a little slime. Alright, so as, not Max is telling us, and not Kirby is telling us, don't hit the... Actually, let me show you how this works, what happens. You could feasibly run this whole way, and I've done that before, because what we need to do is, when you hit the B button, we get onto this, spinning disc, and we go through that, and we go across it safely. It has a health bar. If that goes away, I fall in there. But I remember I got it destroyed while I was going halfway through. Alright, so yeah, Charmy is loving this, and again, going back to the idea of in the dialogue, you have, like, the, music notes when they're saying things. They're not even necessarily saying in a sing-song voice, which is kind of weird to me, but... Alright, I think this is where one of the discs is. Alright, so far we're good. I remember playing this level, okay, I had to play every level just to get going for the purpose of this. Yes, you can grind along the pipe on your own, or you can grind along it with the, that. But I'm going a little slower. Alright. Yeah, I'll make it that work, feasibly. Alright, so, I hope I didn't miss it. But the point is, we're gonna go get the discs. And also, the other thing I'm gonna try to do is I'm also gonna try and feasibly get a decent score on this. And the way to do that, by the way, if you're going on the good path, or the hero path as we are now, kill the, Black Arms guys, because they'll give you points on your good meter. Actually, it's probably easier in this mission, because most of them are that, except, yeah, the worms coming out of the ground, which is always a problem, and that's the other thing I'm worried about. I want to get away from there as soon as I can, because I've had this happen to me so many times playing this game. You fall off the side, and you die. Because you do have a little bit of a knockback. Also, one other thing that's worth pointing out, unlike some of the other Sonic games, you don't lose all your rings when you get hit. Feasibly, the power of profanity of, you know, from Shadow, and we're not using that because it's gonna make us go past everything. It means we only lose 10 rings when we get hit by something. So yeah, just keep hitting that X button and everything is going to die. Also, the vaults. Let's talk about that. Okay, I got 3 keys. Yeah, they're keys that are lying around the levels. They're kind of like the ones in Sonic Adventure 2, but or Sonic Heroes, I should say, not Sonic Adventure 2. Alright, thank you. I take that as a huge compliment. But what happens with those is that when you get 5 of them, you can unlock that vault, and there's stuff inside of it. I don't think I've actually unlocked any of them, but I think the thing that happens is that when you get the keys, it's like the Chows in Sonic Advance 3. They stay unlocked. So I don't necessarily need to get them in one go, if I remember. Even though I have the weapons here, I like them in Forces. Yeah, Sonic Forces from 2017, which... I think what they do with Sonic Forces, I think... One thing they do with that makes it work a little better is the fact they rationalize it by the fact of your created character, number 1. And number 2, they kind of tie it more into the gameplay a bit more. And in that case, that's an interesting thing. And we can do Sonic Force at some point. I have it on the Xbox One, which is the best version of the game to get. I'm just going to say that right now. It's better than it is on PS4 because it runs, or it looks better on the Xbox One, particularly if you're running on Series X. To be fair, you do need this Xbox, or not the Series X, on the Xbox One X. To be fair, if you don't have the Xbox One X, it runs at only 720p on the Xbox One, as opposed to 1080p on the PS4, which is ridiculous. And the Switch version runs at half frame rate, and PC has problems with it. But we can play Sonic Forces at some point for the Xbox One. I have it for that. I have the Xbox One X, so it'll look really, really nice. Also, I have the vacuum gun. This is actually an homage to Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg from the GameCube, which is now an expensive game. I'm seeing like for $100. But you can suck up enemies, and there's one mission feasibly later we can do that with. Alright, so feasibly, yeah, Death Toll will oppose me. I'll blow him up. Okay, that's something I didn't know. When you use the Chaos Blast, even though I'm killing the evil forces, then you still get evil points. I might have missed one of the discs, but we'll see what happens. Oh, right, because I've killed the gun forces. I don't want to do that. Yeah, let's talk about that, Charmy. Yeah, here's the thing. Charmy was not in Sonic Adventure 2, so he doesn't know what we dealt with as far as... Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, the gun is in midair. Can I grab it? Okay, I can grab it. Alright. Yeah, there's some elements of glitches in this game. There's also one aspect I am really, really worried. I hope we don't run into this. This game is... Oh, okay, that was, you jump on that panel and you can jump up here, and I think I have to go here. Isn't that made by Sonic Team? Billy Hatcher the Giant Egg? Yes, it is. It came out in 2003. I played demo. It is, interesting. We'll have a look at it when we get, into Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform next month. Your suggestion for Super Sonic Game Saturday for May. We're gonna see that a little bit. I played it a little bit. I played demo of it. It was kind of fun, although it's a game I don't think I really knew what to make of it at the time. It kind of had an element of Katamari Damacy, honestly, with rolling the egg around. But it's kind of weird, but at the same time, it was interesting change of pace for them. Ooh, as far as the fact we're going to see that in All-Stars Transformed. Yeah, because you do have elements of Billy Hatcher, and just to give you a little bit of an idea on that, we're coming to the goal ring. We're going to ignore that because we still need to get 2 discs. And there's one over there. Okay, maybe I didn't miss one. Also, I don't want to miss that, triangle jump, otherwise I'm going into that element. Okay, I didn't miss it. Alright. But I think I'm going to handle Sonic and All-Stars Transformed I'm gonna do, like with this game, I'm gonna do a little bit of off-screen play to unlock everything at the very least. And then what we're gonna do is, because that'll be my first racing game we're gonna play. What I'm gonna do is we'll play around with elements of it, we'll show off all the different modes, and we'll see what goes on with that. Because I think in that case, that's a situation, I want to show off everything on that game. And be fair, I'm not even showing off the most complete version, because it's on the PC as well. It's on a bunch of other systems, but on the PC it also has... uh-oh.
Damn, not here.
Alright, I overshot that, unfortunately. Okay, that's weird. Charmy suddenly sounds like Black Doom. Alright. And now Charmy is getting into his inner Wayne's World. Indeed, it is part of... And Wayne's World, I have that for the Super Nintendo. You want a game that's even worse than this one, play Wayne's World. We can show that off sometime. But what I'm going to do for Sonic and All-Stars Transformed is... It is on the PC. There's extra characters on the PC version that are not in the console version, so... Unfortunately, they will not be in play, but... Oh, shit! Alright, I thought it was going to fall off. But what will be in play is... I bought Sonic and All-Stars Transformed... okay, here's the last disc. By the way, if I missed it, we'll go that... When I bought that, I got the bonus edition, so I got the DLC that came with it. So, the Outrun Bay and Metal Sonic, so we'll show that up. What game is after this? Next week? Next week, we're completing Katamari Damacy Reroll, and then we're gonna have a look at, Mr. Driller Online. It'll be a brief thing, because, honestly, I was just more thinking about the fact of, hey, there's music for similarities, and it's Namco, and it'll be an interesting showcase. Alright, I got an E. Okay, this reminds me of when my girlfriend and I played this. She has it on the PlayStation 2. She played this mission, she went for like half an hour trying to find all these discs. At the end of it, I think she got 10 points, getting the E ranking, and she said, quote, "At least I got a score," and we both had a very good laugh. And that was the other reason I wanted to do this. Okay, here we are. So we are seeing the Chaotix Detective Agency, you know, going into the internet. Actually, we're gonna go in the internet both ways. Okay.
Stop bugging him, Charmy!
Alright, so yeah, there is, Vector, and there is also SBO. I don't remember who voices those characters.
If it isn't Shadow, your timing is impeccable. You know that Eggman fella pretty well, don't ya? Well,
Yeah, he does.
We need your help to hack into his computer. Don't ask why, and we don't have any more time to waste.
Said every hacker ever. Actually, I guess that's the path we're going. We're gonna be hacking the internet while I'm doing the internet stream of the Shadow the Hedgehog game, so... I'm already loving this, so thank you very much, chat, for your suggestions. Alright, so, boom. Do like the Fonz did on Happy Days. Hit that damn thing and make it work. And off we go into the internet once again. Also hilariously cheesy. It is, yeah, I mean, I'll say that. I mean, here's the thing. I think I was more angry at this game when it came out because I said, what are they doing in this franchise? Why are they going dark with this in a way that feels like they're not doing much with it? It's my same element with Prince of Persia Word, and it came off of The Sands of Time, which is a great game, and they went M-rated for no good reason, and they didn't even try to rationalize it. And that's kind of this game, but, you know, I mean, I'll say it, looking back at it, I'm maybe a little more at ease with it now than I was before, so there's that. Alright, we're in Mad Matrix, by the way. And also say the other thing, and this is another perspective I've heard sometimes, if you're not taking this as a Sonic game, it could be better, and that is a fair point to an extent. I mean, look, it is a sequel to Sonic Adventure 2, so that doesn't always work out as far as that perspective, but... Yeah, I mean, I use the same argument when I do Tales Adventure. And we're going to do Tales Adventure for Game Gear. That game is amazing. I'm going to play that. I'm going to show you that off to you later this year. The earliest I can feasibly do is July, because I have my May and June elements of Super Sonic Game Saturday set, but... Well, we could do that at a later time, but I get the idea of if you don't look at this as a Sonic game, and also, because remember, when this game came out, the only access to Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 was on the GameCube. There was not Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 2, it was not on the Xbox, so there are a lot of people probably came into this game without having played those. In my case, I had a Dreamcast, so I played both of those, and I played Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog in the system, and that, it might have been more raw in my mind, whereas now, I'm kind of taking this as stride. Alright, so... We're at Mad Matrix. Let's take the story path. Alright, we are kind of going in a little bit of a wave here. This is interesting. Alright, so we have three choices of where we're going to go.
I need to find the exit from this cyberspace.
Okay, so we got to either escape the internet we just jumped into, detonate all the bombs to blow up the internet, or access all the terminals to do whatever Espio wants to do, or you could say, like, access the terminals.
exit.
I gotta get out of here. Or, and if you're familiar with internet terminology, and I'll say this in the Black Doom voice, delete fucking everything. Alright, so, in that case, it's up to you to decide how we're gonna go. In the meantime, let's show you how this works. You hit onto these platforms here, you change the color in order to open the door. It doesn't matter what color you select, but they all have to be the same, and the wall comes down. Alright, so there are the egg pawns. This is gonna be the first time we've seen them. Detonate the bombs. Okay. Alright. We'll do that. That's gonna be an interesting case. I don't know if I've actually ever done that, but you know what? I said this a few months ago. I said, whatever you tell me to do, I'm gonna do. Or, to quote The Simpsons, because why are you being so mean? The other critics told me to be mean. And you should always give in to peer pressure. But what if someone bad tells me to? Always. Alright, now I just got stomped by the egg pawn. But alright, we're gonna detonate the bombs. We're gonna, in the words of Black Doom, delete fucking everything. Kamehameha. Yeah, like, I can't resist on that one. But, alright, so we're gonna go and detonate the bombs. The way the bombs work, I do know this. We go up here into your, yeah, the data is not, or the data is fragmented and all that. Alright, so here we are. This is the whole field. These are where all the bombs are. You can kind of see them out there, sort of, because there's elements with the draw distance. There's also a ton of pop-up, by the way, in this game. But, no matter what version you're playing on, doesn't matter if you're playing on the PS2 or the GameCube or the Xbox, still going to be the same case. But yeah, this also looks very Tron-like. It looks almost like, look, where's the blue tower? Okay, this is the blue tower. So it's like we're going into the Master Control program, if you've ever seen that movie, or played any of the games based on it, of which I do have the arcade versions. I have the arcade version of Tron and discs of Tron, which should show up at some point. But what we're going to do is you got to go through the paths here. You have to basically crash into the bombs, destroy them. There are 30 of them. And we'll blow up the internet, so we'll see what happens. And this is also going to be interesting because I've never done this before, as I mentioned, but we'll see. And again, thank you for telling me where to go and making this definitely one of the more interesting playthroughs of this game that I can imagine. And makes this a lot of fun. See, that's the thing. Even when you're playing a game that's not very good, or you don't think is very good feasibly, or there might be other people who think it is. Good movie. Indeed, it is a good movie. At the same time, though, I think with something like this, and that's how I take it, I've run into people who said they like this game more than I do. They think they like the idea of some of the things it was trying. They like the attempt, and or they have a guilty pleasure, as you said. But there's sometimes like people like, oh, they absolutely hate it. And I've noticed that when I've played games with people, games that are either not very good or there's debate up to that, you kind of have that perspective of what it is, and it makes it more interesting. Even a game, even if you disagree with the person who's playing it, or like what their attitude might be towards it, that makes it really interesting, and that makes it. I'll tell you this because I mentioned to a coworker of mine that I bought Batman Forever for the Super Nintendo, which is it's not a good game. In fact, you could make the case it's a worse game than this one. He mentioned something to me that was saying that, you know, I like this game more because I like the idea of trying to find all the secrets, and I got into it. And I remember I said to him, I specifically said this, I said, you know, I want to thank you for pointing that out because it kind of put into perspective, I think, of what some of these aspects are about. What about Tron Legacy, the film or the game? Well, okay, Tron Evolution was the game. Tron Legacy, I liked it enough. Also, by the way, this is a Lightspeed Dash ring. You hit the B button, they put on a separate button here to do this. And you still want to do the jump and then do it because otherwise, sometimes it won't work. As far as Tron Legacy, the 2010 sequel, I didn't like it as much as the original. I don't love the original as much as other people, but I also think the second one has some things about it that are better. Particularly in elements of how it looks, or how they update the look, and some elements of how it tells the story, but I also had issues with the dialogue of how it tells it, because I think it's kind of perfunctory as far as, it seems like it's kind of, they're not as interested in that world. What I will say, though, is it looks great. I also think it's paced better than the original Tron picture, so I will give it that, even though it's longer. So in that case, I do have that element. I was kind of on the edge. It's like the Sonic movie. It's like, I was looking over the footage of the streams I've been doing to get them up on the site, which I have only one more for 2020 to do, and then I'll get to the 2021 stuff. But I was thinking, like, that was like a middle-of-the-road, just barely missing, but I still have affection for it and would feasibly recommend it as a rental if you like the original movie. I know people really love the original movie, so in that case, they're going to like it. The one thing I'm not as familiar with as far as Tron is concerned, as far as the mediums of it, there was an animated series. I think it was on the Disney Channel. I believe it's on Disney Plus now, where they put all the entire series up. I never saw that, but I heard it was also really good. And I mean, I like the idea of like, the idea of Tron, being in the computer, being into these elements. And with Tron was an interesting case because it's about, and it's fitting this way, it's about video games. About, if you've ever seen this movie, and some in the chat have, I'm going to try and make that jump. There we go. Oh, shit, I almost flew off. That can happen, too. It's basically Kevin Flynn, who is the computer programmer. He gets sucked into the computer by, like, the evil Commander Sark, I believe it was. It's been a while since I've seen the picture. And, oh shit, is this a dead end? Uh-oh. The rings will come back, right? Oh, right. No, okay, the ring trails, they're still there. I guess you can go over them. All right, good. Because I didn't want to lose that. Actually, one thing I probably should do is find a checkpoint. I don't remember if it saves the bombs. So, where the checkpoints are, by the way, they are at each of the towers. We're coming up to one of them, and actually we can go here. Oh, we're a third of the way done.
What are you doing? We have no need for these towers.
Alright, so he says we have no need for the towers. By the way, if you go in the towers, what you do is... Oh, basically we activate each of those. We activated the first one when we came in. We had to do that for the others, but we're not doing that, so bye-bye, SBO. We'll see you in another game where you're voiced by, I think it's starting in Sonic Generations. He's voiced by Troy Baker, who is, you know, Vincent in Catherine, or he also is, Joel in The Last of Us, which is very interesting. And the idea of, like we were saying with this game, we'll say this as we see more characters going along. Voice... You know, I don't think I've ever seen that. Have you been doing arcade games, kind of like the shoot-'em-ups playthrough? Yes, I have. In fact... One plan I have to that is at the end, later this year, I kind of want to do another sampler with fighting games. And the other thing I want to do, as far as that, is I'm still waiting for the Sega, not the Sega Genesis Mini. I have that, the Astro City Mini to get here. I got the one from Limited Run. They only made or had 3,500 of them that they had. I'm still waiting for that to ship. Weirdly enough, the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World Complete Edition shipped to me before that did, which was surprising, because they said, like, oh, it's in hand, it's going to come soon. Not yet. At that point, I can do an arcade showcase. Absolutely. I can do the games that are on that, or I can do other arcade games. I guess to that, what arcade games would you like to see? What genres would you like to see? Are there any in particular that you are really interested in? I know I've mentioned that I have stuff on a bunch of systems. I have the Mid-American Treasures on the PlayStation 2. I have the Mid-American Treasures 3 on the Xbox, and I also have it on the GameCube because I heard it runs better on the GameCube, and it sort of does. So in that case, it's like, yeah, I have the same game on two systems for that very reason. Although in that case, I don't like the fact that I have to use the right trigger, or the R button on the GameCube for accelerating, and I can't change it. Whereas on this thing, I just hit that right trigger, which I love doing. But whatever you want to see as far as arcade games, genres, specific ones, specific franchises, let me know when I do... Midway. Okay. To which I have the Mid-American Treasures on the PlayStation 2, and then the third one on this. So, yeah, I could do that. I mean, I definitely would look forward to... And that would be an interesting case, too, looking at a compilation. Because usually when I've been pulling out compilations, I'm pulling them out for the purpose of showing off, like, either one game in it, or maybe a couple of things. Because I did the... You're mentioning the shoot 'em up showcase that I did. That was a Proto Rover recommendation, I think, and very much for that idea. It's like, what happened to the genre? I want to see what's going on. You know what? Let's take the katana. Let's get, get the blade going on here. Also, you have other things. I may as well just show this off. I'm also going to try and find everything. You also have this, which is, like, a radar gun. If you ever played Gears of War, it's the Hammer of Dawn out of that game. Or the gun, I'm trying to remember what it was, in Halo Reach. Like, the satellite gun. And then there's this one, which is the heal cannon. Shoot that, it heals people, because there's missions where you have cases where you gotta heal people or save them, and they'll do that. And also when you use the heal cannon, it also will make them not hurt you. So that's also useful in the missions where that happens. But as I was saying, I definitely would want to showcase some elements of that. But like the shoot 'em up showcase, I showed a lot of the stuff from Konami in the case of that one, whereas for something like Midway, I could show off other stuff there too. And actually, I guess for... Alright, I gotta figure out where I'm going. That is also one of the other challenges of this game, finding out where you're supposed to go, and also finding out how to get your way out. In fact, let's go over this way. But one thing I will do, again, around Thanksgiving, we're going to do a fighting game showcase, and it will cover some arcade games within it, because I have the Mortal Kombat arcade collection. I'm going to show that off I want to get Dead or Alive Ultimate so I can show off Dead or Alive 1 off of that. And I also have the Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, which I want to show off. And then Marvel vs. Capcom. Well, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Both versions of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the 360 and the Xbox. Or the Xbox One running through the 360, which is a site you will not want to miss. Check out Ant's stream. They have a lot of classic games to stream for free. I will take a look at that. The one thing also I still need to figure out, and this is going to be more of a, let me sit down and do this. I still have to figure out how I'm going to do PC stream, because you probably noticed. Of the stuff I have on the YouTube site, even the stuff I don't have on YouTube site because I don't have the footage anymore, or the stuff I've done this year, none of it has been stuff on PC. I still have to figure that out, because I've been getting requests for PC stuff left and right by people saying, I want to see stuff on the PC. I'm like, I agree, I want to show off that. I've mentioned it. So what I need to do is I just got to sit down. I got to figure out how I'm connecting PC. Can I connect the computer I'm using for the purpose of streaming this and making it so that I can kind of stream to it that way to show off some stuff like that, in which case then some of those other things. And I will say this, the case I will do that is particularly for games that never came home and that I can't show any other way. I try as much as I can to be as official with this stuff as possible, not because of like, oh, I have a moral reason, but just because I want to show you the experiences of having this stuff, or finding it in multiple places. But if I have to do that as far as PC, I will definitely do that. Alright, I think I have hit most of the bombs here. Okay, there's one over there. And there's one over there. Yeah, this mission is... I think I did do this weird enough when I rented this game. The first time I played this game was... I rented the Xbox version. It was around Thanksgiving of 2005, which is when it came out. Alright, so I go that way. Oh, okay, wrong way. Unfortunately, I can't go back that way. But I remember renting this game with Half-Life 2 for the Xbox, because that was the first time it came to console. Another great game that's on PC in particular. But in that case, is like, I played Half-Life 2 much more than I played this one, but I did still play it to a certain extent. I do remember vividly completing this mission, this specific mission, as far as getting the bombs here. But again, since you guys asked me of it, I'm doing it, and I'm glad to do it. Alright, while I'm going through here, I need to take a water break. Couldn't take long.
What are you doing? We have no need for these towers.
Well, you don't have any need for it, but me and my nice, samurai blade say, no, we need to go this way because we gotta go find where the other bombs are. Because they place them around each of the... Oh, I just went all around. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, there we go. Alright, and it does pull the camera out a little bit so you can sort of see... Oh, not really. It seems like it's pulling it upwards. That's what I get for, saying that the camera isn't too bad. Okay, this game does not have a good camera. I mean, you could say that with a lot of Sonic games, but... Alright, let me see something here. I'm gonna go back to the Green Tower just because I want to see... Yeah, because it also doesn't have, like, a reset camera. See, here's the weird thing. This runs on Sonic Heroes engine. I mentioned that. Unlike Sonic Heroes, though... wait a minute. Why to go backwards again? Alright, let's try this one more time. Oh, okay, because I went to the right. Okay, but as I mentioned, this runs on the Sonic Heroes engine. That game let you control the camera by hitting the L and R buttons, or the left and right triggers, the case on this. And I guess on the PS2 version, you could use, like, L1 and R1 or something like that. Oh, I missed one, shit. Alright. Okay, well, there's another one. So at least I got that one. And I can go back, so perfect. But in that game, they let you do that, but they also gave you the option to use the analog stick for the camera. And at first I thought, oh, that's great. I've played... Because I was an Xbox kid in the sense that I had this system first, and so I played a bunch of things on. I played Splinter Cell. At some point we're going to play that, because that game's amazing. But with that one, I was so used to using the right analog stick for the camera. But with this game, it just seemed like... Or with Sonic Heroes, it kind of pulled it in too much. But they check out Sonic Takes Over Twitter. Hilarious. Well, that's also any time that the Sonic the Hedgehog account says something on Twitter as well, so... I will definitely have to take a look at that. Because some of that could be interesting. And fitting for the pack that we're in the internet. And there's another bomb over there on the right, so we can get it. We have only 12 left. Yeah, we're seeing the timer go this way. That's the other thing I sort of, I guess, alluded to when I said we're doing this game at some point. Was the fact that these missions could take a while. Depending on how it goes, you could be here for over half an hour. Which, I mean... What's this? Oh! Oh, right. Okay, so I'm getting the good light for the purpose of the fact that I'm going through destroying the internet. Alright, because yeah, there is an item, I believe, that you hit that, and it is rare. I think I've only seen that maybe once outside of that. And you get that, and your hero meter is increased. Alright, so we got 9 left. So where are they? Alright, there's some over there on the right. Over. Okay, I gotta go the other way. Basically what you do here is you pretty much just take turns at the junctions. You basically hit the analog stick to go that direction. Let me see, can I go that way? No, I can't. Again, evil. Evil the game. Well, I mean, I'll say... Here's what I'll say about this game. The more evil parts of this game are not necessarily the fact of, going through this, that element. I'll tell you other elements of this game that definitely are worse to that, or I guess... Okay, that was... Alright, that was where one of the firewalls was. I would say something like Lost Impact. Particularly if you go on the hero mission, I eventually... Because I had to play this game 10 times off-screen to get last story opened. I played it a decent amount of times just to get a sense of, like, okay, people say this is the worst mission in the game. Let me understand this. I eventually kind of got better at it, but the idea that you have to go through that, and I've seen runs that level that go for over half an hour, and this one I think is going to go... Yeah, we're already at 17 minutes, almost. Okay, also, I want to try and not fall. But, let's see. Alright, there's one down the red way. What I'm saying is that this isn't necessarily one of the more evil missions in the game that way. I'm trying to think of other ones. I should know because I played this game semi-recently to get the... Oh, is it, where is... Yeah, I thought I saw it there somewhere. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Alright, so that's 24, so we got 6 left. Now, where are they? I mean, to be honest, because... Let's go into the different versions. Like, first, you said that you played this on the PlayStation 2. I remember talking to my girlfriend. She played on the PlayStation 2 as well. In fact, she has it on the PlayStation 2. A lot of people I know play this on the GameCube in particular. The reason we're playing on the Xbox is, well, A, it's the version I own. And the other reason I think this is feasibly the best... For me, it's better because I like the way the controller is. Because I'm so used to playing Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. And the Xbox controller is basically the same. But also, in terms of getting high-def graphics out of this, I'll tell this story, because... I'm going through the same thing, what we're doing, while I try and find these bombs. I'm running this through the original Xbox. This is backwards compatible with the Xbox 360. It is unfortunately not backwards compatible with the Xbox One or the Series X, which would be amazing because a lot of the frame rate problems this game has would be eliminated. But either way, I have component cables for the original Xbox to show this game off. We're not using them, though, because when I connected it to my... capture device, I realized that it's doing this horrible hissing with the audio. And it doesn't do it when I connect it to my television. When I run it through the game capture device I have, it was doing this hissing, and it was like a couple weeks ago. I was in sort of a panic because I said, well, I need to get another cable, and I realized the component cables on the Xbox are going up in price. They're not as expensive on the GameCube, where the GameCube cables... You could probably buy 2 GameCubes for the price of one of those cables. And you have to have the specific version of the GameCube in order to run, or to connect the cable, because they took the port for it out on the later systems. And I have a GameCube that has it, but I was like, yeah, I'm not spending $200 to get an element on that. But what I did then was like, okay, it's like $50, $60 for a cable. I said, let me order one off eBay. I realized they weren't going to arrive in time for the stream, or they weren't going to arrive in time when I had to be off that one week. And that almost happened, by the way, again tonight, so I'm going to say this. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the same time that I'm going to run these. But if it's not immediately up at time, that's why, and I will do my damnedest to make it going. But anyway, what I did is, like, it's not going to arrive in time for that element, because it was a couple weeks ago. So I went out to my retro game store. I was like, do you have one of these? They didn't, and I said, well, I thought 2 things. Like, I could connect this with the AV cables, composite. I plugged it in. It looked horrible. I was like, no way I'm doing that. No way I'm looking at that game this way. No way I'm letting you guys look at that game this way. I could have also feasibly played this through the Xbox 360, because you could get the HD going that way, because it runs HDMI, but the point is it'll still run at the output ratio that's at its max, which is 40p. But I said, there's software emulation issues usually when you play an original Xbox game on the 360. I will show that off with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You will not want to miss that. But I said, what is the other thing I can do? And I said, oh, wait a second. The Xbox has S-video cables. So I said, do you have one of these? And they said, yeah. They looked in the bag. Like, we have, like, one of these. It's $10. Like, yeah, I'll take it. And where there's like, okay, we have 5 left at least. And so I took it, and I said, all right, so it's going to be a little bit of a happy medium. Because I'm a tech person, I guess, when you really think about it. But also, when I do stuff like this, I want to give you the best picture quality as well. And I want to get the best picture quality myself. Because I'm like, and that's the interesting thing about the original Xbox. And give Microsoft credit for this, regardless of where your console loyalties might lie. They were forward-thinking to think that, you know, people are going to be playing games on an HD television. And so, along with having support for AV, because everybody had that at the time, and S-Video, which also the Dreamcast has, and every time we do a Dreamcast game, we run S-Video. Okay, it's over there to the right. I see one of them. Actually, let me hit the checkpoint, because I didn't hit that one. Oh, by the way, when you hit the checkpoints with certain ring amounts, you get items, and in this case, you get a life. It's like Sonic Adventure 2, so we're good that way. But what was interesting about that, and it's interesting when because I got a new original Xbox, because I have stuff on the original Xbox that will not run on the 360, or not run well on the 360. Again, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, that is, oh boy. But it made me interesting. It's like, oh yeah, I can play all this stuff in high def, and I realized there is a large amount of the library that plays in at least 480p, some stuff in 720p, like Soul Calibur 2. It runs in 720p natively on this system, in ways it doesn't on the PS2 and the GameCube, although it is only a 4:3 as far as the display ratio. So there's that, but that was interesting to see, and coming back to this now that I have the cables for it, me personally, I can play it with a component cable, or I can run it this way and kind of get towards that high-def display. It was interesting seeing all the stuff I can output that way on the system. Even stuff in, and if you're a tech person, you're going to be shaking your head saying, oh my god, why would I ever want to show this way? 1080i, interlacing. But, yeah, the Xbox had support for that. Some games had it, not many. In fact, I don't think I have any of the games that do. I think, Enter the Matrix had usage for it. Atari Anthology, speaking of arcade collections. And I think Brute Force from Microsoft used it. But a lot of stuff at least is in 480p. Even the stuff that says it's not. If you look in the back of the box, sometimes it says, oh, it's in 480p. Or it doesn't say it is, and they're like, well, wait a minute, does it support it? But it technically does. I mean, I remember I have Wallace and Gromit Project Zoo, which does not say it's in high def at all, but I put it in with my component cables. It's running 480p, it's running awesome. Sonic Heroes as well. Well, Sonic Heroes is a weird case on the Xbox. It says on the box, it says, this runs at 720p. They're lying, it doesn't. It runs in 480. But it still looks really good, and at some point when we get to that, we'll play it through this, and I'll be using the S cable, but still look really nice. So my point of all that, while I'm trying to distract on the fact that I have 2 of these bombs left to get, and there's one of them over there, is that I like the tech stuff, and I love going back to these older systems and getting a really good visual out of them. In fact, better now than when I played them the first time. So, in that case, that is good. Alright, the other bomb was, where was it? It was over behind this. Can I get over there? Or no, it wasn't behind this. It was in the yellow area. So let's go back. We're almost there. Yeah, I've been here 24... Oh, there it is. Okay, so... Alright, so there they are. There's those two. So go here, go to the left. Keep going left, and go out... Yeah, okay. That was a good story. Alright, I mean, if nothing else, it also gives you a perspective of... Here's the thing. I could feasibly come in here. I've said sometimes before, I'll wing this show. I'll basically, like, set stuff up. I have some issues with sound, and when I put up the Mario 35 playthrough, that's gonna be... I'm gonna have to put something up to that, because, okay, I took the wrong turn, or maybe not. Because I had elements of that. I put the mic too loud. But I want to show you, like, I'm working... I at least want to give the people watching, it's like, I have an interest in games as I do, and I want to at least give that element, and here we go, we got it. So, there we go. We blew up the internet. So, awesome. But that's good also. In some ways, this is a good game to talk over, because then I have elements to explain what I'm going on with it, the tech element behind it, a little peek behind the curtain, and we have other elements. Oh, that was an A rank! Oh my god, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, here's the thing about that. You don't necessarily have a problem as far as time, in some ways, as long as you get enough points in this one, and that is an interesting thing. Alright, but yeah, we helped Black Doom, but suddenly SBO is here with us. Oh, and here's Dr. Robotnik, or Dr. Eggman, voiced first time by Mr. Mike Pollock, as you mentioned, who took over for the late Dean Bristow. who unfortunately passed away after Sonic Advance 3. It was also a good voice for Eggman for sure, and it's Mike Pollock's been the voice of him since, and he does a good job, and he gives it all for sure when he comes in, as I mentioned before. But alright, according to Robotnik, I don't have a past. SBO's telling me that he's trying to trick me, even though he was not there for Sonic Adventure 2. Maybe he read the Crib Notes. Maybe the Cliff Notes put a variance like Cliff Notes, Sonic Adventure 2, what you need to know. Like, he's going for press. Okay, this is the Egg Breaker. Alright, so we gotta kill him, and he'll do that jump, and he'll dive, and he will say... Well, take this. Alright, so I gotta go and shoot him, but also I want to see if I can get him to say a line that...
You know what they say, the more the merrier.
Oh my... Geez, let me tell you a story about that line. He says that every time he does that jump, every time he does an attack, he keeps saying that. And some people say, like, well, you have the repetitive voice quotes in Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2, and even Sonic Heroes to a certain extent. It's like, yeah, but it's like, there are 2 lines for Robotnik in this battle, only. He keeps saying this line. He keeps saying, like, 30 times in a row, he'll say, you know what they say, the more the merrier. I remember playing this game with my girlfriend years after, and I forgot that. We beat this level. I played this stage. I said, he will not stop saying that line, and it was really annoying. Okay, so what you want to do, by the way, is just pick up, or lights out. Oh, that one too. But we played this one. I think in this case, I'll tell you, gotta give Mike Pollock this. He was talking, I think he put a tweet out, I think about a month ago. He was saying something about, like, future elements of Sonic. Or no. It was because of the fact that all these people are not voicing Sonic anymore. He came out, he did say that line in a Twitter post saying, I'm still Eggman, so don't worry. But you're right, that's the other line, lights out, which is if we were go to, Cryptic Castle, I believe it was. I don't know if we're going to see that the way we're going, but, yeah. This is the other aspect I'll say of this game. Okay, ugh. Well, I mean, technically I'll be doing that, like, saying the same lines over and over again. We play Sonic Adventure with, like, all systems, full power. But at least he had, like, 5 lines in that game, and they varied it up enough. Whereas, okay, fine, he's sort of varying it up, because he says, take this. So at least there's that. Or if we play with Sonic Heroes, like, you have that element where he says, take this! Ha, ha, ha! Which is, that's gonna be fun when we get to Sonic Heroes. See, as I said, I don't like this game, but I'm still having fun playing it for the purpose of showing that and expressing that, and saying to myself, like, yeah, you know, this is this line. I think I said, when we, go back to my story with my girlfriend playing this, when we played this fight, I think it was like, he said that line 40 times when we were playing it. I'm still, you know, going this way. I don't think he's even said that. Okay, copies. Like, wait a second. It looked like he said couples. I was like, wait a minute, why couples? But, yeah, we were playing that. I was like, he says it like 40 times. And I was like, I think I said at the end of that, I was like, I don't ever want to hear that line again. But, of course, I'm putting myself into it by doing it. Alright, I'm going up here because you also get ammo. The gun tends to be the best way to go about this. And actually, one other thing about the,
You know what they say, the more the
Shut up! Alright, no, hey, I can't do that. Or lights out! Well, but anyway, when you shoot him, the meter up there, when that fills up, it handles a little differently for boss battles. I'm gonna try and feather the shots so I can show it off. Or miss, because this game has auto-targeting. Alright, one more. I just did to shoot him like 1 bullet each time. Ah, damn it indeed. I keep my rings in place. And the egg pawns are gonna try and kill me. Alright. Ow!
You know what they say, the more...
If you get too far away...
Alright, there we go. Perfect. Alright, so I have infinite ammo here. The other thing to do is hit the Y button for Chaos Control! It slows the boss down and you keep shooting. Unfortunately, I made a mistake in using that because when you get to half health, he does that cinematic and you come out of it. But I have enough. Keep shooting him. Also, when you shoot him, your bar will keep going up or stabilize. So he's done. And indeed, lights out! Because you know what they say, the more the merrier. And I don't ever want to hear that line again. Except when I go back to the raw footage on this. Or whenever I play this again with other people and say, like, yeah, he keeps saying that. But, again, the experience, and I got a lot of joy that way. Alright, that's a B. Not bad. For the bosses, by the way, the rank is based on your time. Just keep doing that, and you'll be good. Alright, so, yeah, we're going an interesting path this time. Alright, next on the docket, we're in the Iron Jungle. So kind of going back towards the neutral path. We're dipping our toes into both the evil and the good missions. Alright, but we have this almost looks a little familiar for Sonic in the sense there's like a loop thing there. Alright, so here we are. And with that, well, if you played Sonic Heroes, there was a little bit of a story element to that. The thought that Shadow might be an android for reasons that... Okay, for the purpose of when I do Sonic Adventure 2, I won't give away why. But there's the question of, is Shadow an android or not? But anyway, Eggman created variances of Shadow with androids, and now we're here and we're thinking, well, we're an android too, maybe. Which I guess goes to the cutscene we just saw as far as that. Do the normal path because you deserve a break. Okay. Alright, sure. Okay, I mean, it's your choice. Well, actually, let's take a look at what the bad path is, or the other paths.
Fend off those gun pursuers.
Okay, so it's killing the gun robots, which would take us down to, or up to, wherever that mission is. Actually, what I'll do before we go to last story, I'll go into the select mode just to show what the other missions are, show the names of them. We have the goal ring, which is the normal mission.
To the doctor's base.
So we just fought Eggman in the last battle. We could feasibly help him now if we wanted to, or if chat said.
Need to hurry to the
Or we can run to the goal ring, or we have another friend we could see.
Destroy Eggman's airship.
Yeah, this is E123 Omega, who is... I'll be happy when we get to Sonic Heroes to show him off, because he is...
I need to get back to my base and restore order. Help me get away from these pesky gun soldiers who are on my tail.
To which I say, why are you asking me for help now if I destroyed you in the last mission? So yeah, going back to the Star Fox path element thing, remember how we were saying with Star Fox the story makes sense for it? Not necessarily with this one, where it's like, yeah, I'm going this way, I just destroyed Eggman, but he's willing, like, hey, I can help you, or I want you to help me. It's like, no, we're not helping him.
Are you the original? If you are searching for Eggman, he's fleeing aboard his airship, the Egg Balloon.
Okay, so, alright, so that's the other thing we could do. We could help Omega destroy the egg balloon, which is that little dirigible in the picture there. You know what, we'll have Omega up here because it brings back memories of Sonic Heroes and the idea of how he's like this destruction-loving creature who's like, Eggman's robots must be eliminated. We found out the Shadow is the same one from Sonic Adventure 2 because, yeah, we're gonna get to that. The Devil Doom fight, you have to do something very specific to even see that. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I'll say this, I've never done the Devil Doom fight. I've seen how it's done just so I won't be completely blindsided, but I will say this. If we end up being there for 9 minutes, we'll get the line of whether this is the real Shadow or not. I mean, for the purpose of this, for the storyline, because we have 10 endings we can go to, but, yeah, we could feasibly see that happening. Alright, so we're going to... he's saying destroy the balloon. We're not destroying the balloon. We're basically saying to Omega to go away. And we're going to be destroying all of these worthless consumer models. Yeah, I want to play Sonic Heroes instead, or eventually, at some point, we'll do Sonic Heroes. Which I do have the super hard mode unlocked for Sonic Heroes, although actually, the reason I haven't unlocked is because there's an Xbox magazine that had it, or that had a save unlocking it, so we have it that way. Alright, here is the Shadow Androids. They shoot rockets out of their fingers. So just pull the gun out and blow them away. And try and move all around. Or use the strafe. I actually have not been using the strafe. I'll say one thing I would have liked for this game in particular, and going back to Ratchet & Clank, going back to Jak 2. The fact that we have, yeah, we could do that. I could use the Chaos Control. You know what, if I find a checkpoint, I'll want to try and show something off. Also, there's the rockets. You do have, like, a little, parachute that comes down. But, yeah, what I was going to say is that if it was like one of those games, you have, like, a target, another target, or not another target, like a manual walk-on. But then there were a lot of games at this era that had shooting that didn't have it. Ooh, but I will take this, the Gatling gun. You had to complete both routes in each of the final levels. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. That's absolutely true. I've technically completed all the routes to get last story, so easily we'll see that, but we'll see how that goes. Alright.
Eggman robot eliminated.
Alright, there you go. So that's... And again, Omega... Alright, yeah, I'll do that in a minute, Omega. But, yeah, Omega's the only character in this game who is voiced by the same voice actor from Sonic Heroes. I don't remember the name. But, yeah, Maddie Blaustein voiced Omega in Sonic 06, and I did not know that. I guess feasibly what they did with that one is I guess they, like, took a robotic element. But, I mean, at that point, I'll say this. Next time I play, or when I do Sonic 06, at some point we'll do it. I'll probably handle it the same way. We're going to be doing... I'll show the Sonic story. I might show parts of the other ones, and then we'll do last story. I had to go play through that again as well. I'll play the 360 version. I will also be nice to you. I will turn on or I'll install the game to the drive so you have faster loading. I also could buy the PS3 version. I do have a PS3 now, because it's even worse on that system, but I was like, I'm not going to do that. I already bought the game once. Hell, I bought some of the DLC for that game, which we could show off as well. But, alright, do I still have my... My gun? Yeah, because you do want to have that. This is a very nice weapon.
Ring pattern detected.
Alright, I've been getting good luck with the Lightspeed dash rings at the very least, so I'll say that. Ow. Alright. Alright, so if we're doing the good... Actually, yeah, because we're doing the good path, it doesn't matter. I think Omega was done by, it sounded like, for this game, over Sonic Heroes? Oh, okay. I'll say this. Let me bring that... You know, I'm skipping that part, by the way. I think you usually just fight other shadow robots. Also, by the way, when you grind, keep hitting that B button. They don't have a cap for speed. You keep hitting that B button. You're hearing me tapping it like that. You just keep going fast. And some of those... Oh, whoa, I almost died. But some of those go so fast that you can, you know, fly off. Okay, but you say, does it sound like... Here's the thing about that. I want to bring that up. That's an interesting point you said. Sonic Adventure. The voice of Tails in that game. I don't remember the name of the person who it is. When I played Sonic Shuffle for the Dreamcast, the voice sounded exactly the same. And I thought, oh, it's the same voice actor. They took clips from the original game. No, that was not the case. What happened with that game, and I didn't know this until I found out later, is that I think it was like a young kid who played Tails. The voice actor was a young boy at the time when the game came out. And what they did for Sonic Shuffle, I didn't know this, they had his brother do the lines. Because, like, I think he got a little older, so his voice deepened, and was like, oh, he can't do the, alright. So they got his brother to do it, but it sounded exactly the same. So, you might be right in the case of this, and actually, you know what, let me get that key, because we'll save it. I'll get to the goal ring, which is right here, but you might be right, that might be it. It might not be the same voice actor, but it sounds similar to me. So I'm thinking maybe that's the case. Actually, it looked like the... Oh, it did flash on screen. It said, like, hero mission failed. I guess because I didn't do the, I didn't destroy the dirigible. Alright, normal score. So that's a C. Normal score, by the way, I think they just totally discount your hero and dark points. I think Connor Bring is who voiced Tails. That's true. And it was his brother, I believe, who played him in Sonic Shuffle. And actually, I think it's Sonic Adventure 2 as well.
Eggman detected. Approaching this direction.
Alright, so we just fought Eggman in the last level, or one last level. Then he was going to help him. We said no. I was like, well, we're fighting him again. So we're getting a lot of Eggman, you know, attacking going on in this.
You two are going to stop me?
Well, I mean, yes, we are traitors to him technically, but yeah, whatever.
Doctor, please, I need to know. Those androids, the ones that look like me, am I?
Yes.
What?
You and Omega are my creations. But you betray me as you stand here before me. So now, I will destroy you both, turning you into scrap metal.
I mean, I guess he'll turn Omega potentially, but, like, yeah, Omega's not going to take that shit, clearly. I love the scene. Yeah, I do like that. I mean, as I said, even with it, it's like, maybe it's just because of my fandom of Sonic, just the idea of what that is, and just seeing what's happening. So at that point, it's, like, interesting. And I think also, just I love Omega as a character. I love him so much in Sonic Heroes as far as the idea. And I also liked, well, because he's sort of tied tangentially to E102 Gamma from Sonic Adventure. And just the idea of how that was working. Alright, so that is the Egg Breaker. Actually, I guess, yeah, it is the Egg Breaker again, but... Yeah, where'd you go? Shadow's delivery there. Indeed. Well, yeah, that's true. And that goes back to what you're saying with Jason Griffith. And that's the thing I'll say is, like, any issues I have with voice acting in this game, it would be potentially direction, but at the same time, you also do get some good gumption from the voice actors and actresses. So at that point, I can't totally hate it. Alright, I mean, I don't really hate it anyway. It's just that, like, I just wish the game was good and written, I guess. But that's another argument in and of itself. But it makes it interesting. Oh, yeah, and you have the Shadow Androids that are here as well. Now, okay, the way this works is that I was hitting the parachute there to destroy him. The other way to go about this is... I gotta find rings, because I don't want to die. Alright, ring. There we go. Okay, so the other thing you do is there's the rocket. But, alright, I want to get him out of the way a little. Have him shoot at me. Yeah, you have gun turrets. There are a lot of games at the time that had gun turrets in them. Or, he'll shoot me and he'll destroy it. But at the same time, then you can pick up the gun, or I'll die. Although, actually, this is the only time I've died so far, so that's good so far. Alright, so yeah. Also, they don't... I'll tell you one thing I guess they missed an opportunity on, and Sonic Heroes doesn't do this either. This is one thing Sonic Adventure 2 did, and I loved it for it, and we'll see it when we get there. When you keep dying in stages, they'll give you progressively more clear hints as far as, like, what you need to do. I mean, to be fair, when I have Omega out, he'll tell me hints about what I'm supposed to do, but in the case of that game, you had Omo Chow coming out and basically telling you progressively, like, okay, here's some things to do, like, maybe try this, and later it's like, okay, do this. So it means that you don't necessarily get stuck as much. When you cut him to half health, he comes down here, and he hits me with the laser, but at this point, at least he's not saying the lines that he's saying, but, just pick the gun up and shoot him. And we got him.
You won't be so lucky. Just you wait and see.
And actually, the way we're going, we're gonna be meeting him each time we can meet him, so that's very interesting to see.
Android. Me? I don't believe you.
Alright, well, we'll see. That's the next one, that should be an A. Alright, it is. Because again, it's based on time, and then you hear that, perfect. I'll say, I like that delivery as well. And I will say, as I've mentioned before, Jason Griffith really grew into the roles of all the characters who play with the Sonic games. And in that case, there's something to be said about that. Alright, so flashing back to Sonic Adventure 2 as the Cryotube, or Sonic Heroes, when I saw those elements, okay, there was Sonic Adventure 2, same model there, and, okay, that's a hint to what happened in that if you played it. I mean, I'm assuming people in the chat might have played that game. You know, the thought that, hey, maybe he shouldn't be here if you're going to story tie this to Sonic Adventure 2, unless you have another element. But, well, according to him, we're his copy, or we're a copy.
Doctor, you're going straight to the place you created me from.
Or later, we'll probably hear him saying, "You're going straight to hell," which goes into the idea of them going language in the Sonic game, which again, if they rationalize it better, I'd be okay with it. Whereas in this case, like, better writing, that would have been the case, like Mega Man X, or like with some other stuff. Alright, so here we are in the lava shelter, I believe it was. Alright, now we're just gonna keep going down here, just keep hitting that B button, I'm just gonna go like nuts. Also, this game does introduce one thing, which you can hit the left analog stick and then jump to the side in order to do it, and they put you on a track for that, unlike with Sonic Heroes, where Sonic Heroes, you fly off. And Sonic Adventure 2, you also fly off. This game, they don't do that, so I will give credit. Oh, right, you can sort of hang on the sides. So that worked, too. Okay, let's talk about this, then. Last playthrough, as far as this, before we go to last story, although depending on what time is looking like after we do last story, I might look at some of the other missions now, because it's going a little faster than I thought. Okay, since we're at the last mission, when you get to the last mission, you have two options as far as what you want to do. You can, in this case, they don't ever give you a neutral mission, so you have to do either the evil mission or the non-evil mission, because you get to go to one of those orbs that are over there, the little circles. That'll determine what boss you fight. I don't think it matters, actually, as far as what the boss is. I think it's going to be the same one, regardless of what we do. But, so we can find the center of the base, as Omega is wanting us to do.
Activate the volcanic defense systems.
Or we can turn on the volcanic defense system. So we want to see Omega's routes. Alright, we'll go Omega's routes. Alright, so we got a love for Omega in this chat. So I'm going to assume then, chat, let me know your fandom of Omega, and is it... I think it was with this game, and also with Sonic Heroes, in my case. Oh, shit.
Not here.
Alright. Just as I was starting to say, yeah, you know, this game was better for, improving stuff for Sonic Heroes when you're, you know, dashing quickly and you do that flip and then you know, go off. Okay, yeah, the game is saying, no, you can't be, you know, giving me a compliment. This game has to now ruin you, so... Alright, we're still gonna go Omega's route, though, which is mainly the easier path for this. And if you're going the straight way of this game, because the dude... Okay, whoa! Okay, that was close. And they do, thankfully, give you that thing that Sonic Heroes had and that Sonic Adventure 2 did, which when you hit the edge of a platform, sometimes you'll get that little, like, oh, I'm gonna fall off. Which I do like that. Oh, there's the vault, and... Actually, I only have one key left.
Keys are required to access door.
You know, if that's the case, we'll do Omega's mission, which is the easy way. If you're going straight as far as, like, the neutral playthrough, just going to the goal ring, that's the way to go. Also, yeah, I picked up a shovel. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna do some gardening feasibly. Alright, no, we're just gonna go through here with the triangle jump. If I can go back so I can get the items that are in there. If easily go to the top, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and find that last key then. Alright, there we go. I just need to find where it is. Because I can at least show what those vaults are, because I've never opened one. Just like it'll be, I've never gone through the last way, or the final way, as it's called, for the last story. I could do that too. Alright, so here's the other mission though, and sometimes the allegiances will just change on a whim when you get close to something. Yeah, we have to, you know, get the volcanic defense system running, and I think, okay, I'm not gonna do this. I think you just have to hit it. So, alright, we're gonna skip that, because if you do that, what happens is that the lava will rise, and it'll change the path you go down. Which, to be honest, I like the... Oh, that was close. I thought I was gonna fall off and die there. I like the idea of being able to go multiple paths. I'll say that. I love the concept as far as that. I just don't think they delivered it as well as as Star Fox 64, which came out 8 years after this, or before this game did. Well, the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and go back. We're gonna find that last key. We're gonna open that vault. And thankfully it's right next to a checkpoint, so we can do that really easily. But as I was saying, it's like, I love the idea of, like, having a choice in Sonic. I mean, in some ways, Sonic Adventure 2 kind of went into this. Even though, because I slid off. Because, I mean, even with Sonic Adventure 2 gives the idea of, like, playing the hero side and the dark side. And to a certain extent, it railroads you in the sense that you have a final story that's canon, although that game, I feel, does a much better job of kind of, you know, dovetailing those concepts. Like, hey, I'm playing as Sonic and his pals, and then Shadow and everybody else, and even, like, the evil mission path of that is, like, goodbye, Sonic, forever. Alright, yeah, that's a path I can go down. If I touch the lava, I die instantly. I think there's a way, I think you have to I think you have to go and destroy the volcanic defense system, or turn it on to make that pop up. I just hope the key isn't down that way, because I want to make sure I get that. Alright, I got a life. Which is the same case as the other Sonic games. You get 100 rings, you get a life. Let me try and go up here. Usually the keys tend to be higher areas. Okay, that's interesting. I've never heard that line here before, because there's another level. Not Casino Park. Casino Park is, oh, there's the last key. Perfect. Alright, so when I find a checkpoint, we're gonna go back. And we'll show what's in that. I don't know what's in it, so this is gonna be me finding this out along with you. I guess, chat, question. If you played this game, did you ever open up the vaults? Alright, that's another path we can go. We're not going that way.
When all of the units of my volcanic system are activated, my base's defenses will be set.
Damn it.
Or, I guess to quote Perfect Dark, let's see how that overconfident thief deals with a gas defense system. Alright, let's go back to the checkpoint. I think it's the second one. No, you haven't. Okay, so, well, alright, we're gonna find out here. So, okay, no, it's the first one. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We opened the vault. Alright, this is new territory for me. Alright, so he could say it takes 5 keys to open it.
5 separate keys are required to access door.
Access door, or I'll just say it myself. Alright, so we have like 5 voices. Okay, so in here we have a bunch of ammo. Wow, tons of ammo. You can get up to 200 rounds of stuff. Oh, it has the spinning wheel. I've never seen this. Okay, I'm very interested. And this is why I'm doing this game this way, and why I appreciate this. I'm having a great time so far. Okay, so basically I'm using this to go on this. Alrighty. Alright, so yeah, we're going down... Oh! I get it now. So... Okay. So unlike in Prison Island, where we were, you know, using this and we could run on that feasibly if we jumped on it.
Does not compute.
Okay, yeah, this is computing, but in this case, yeah, if I fall in the lava, I die, but in this case, I guess I go this way and I come around. Alright. And we get more, boxes. Alright, so I guess this is the way that we're gonna be finding that. So I still have the top. Actually, I think this is still the same... Oh, whoa! Okay. Alright, this... Actually, no, I guess we're going back, but... Well, okay, this is then how we can get those items. Alright, so this is good. Alright, so I have the not Hammer of Dawn here. Let's see if I can get an enemy and jump up. You do have a double jump when you're on this. Hit A twice. No! Stop it, Eggman. We're going the way we want to go. Alright, hang on. Let me...
What are you doing?
What I want. Another scene I like is when they're on the Ark and Shadow wants to protect it. Actually, I can show off some of those missions. Alright, so hold X to shoot that. This is going to go away. Yeah, let go. Boom, there you go. Get the satellite gun. Again, it's the Hammer of Dawn from Gears of War if you played that. And I do have Gears of War. At some point, we can show that off. Actually, I have a bunch of the Gears of War games. Because I got it when I got my Xbox One X. I actually had to use it to replace my broken Xbox One. I was like, at this point, let me get the X unit for the better graphics and stuff. And it came bundled with literally every game in that franchise. Except Judgment. That was the only one I didn't get. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do is, since we have the top, which I didn't know was on this level, so glad to be able to find that out. Alright, this is how you get those. Alright, so, for any of you watching who never got the keys or was wondering, how do I get down here? There should be platforms coming up. No, you get 5 keys. You go through here. You also get this item, which will recover the health on your top. So at least they give... There are 3 lives down here. Damn. Wow. Okay. So I'm very glad I did this. Now let's just take this top through the level, and we'll see how far we get. I guess they do give you enough of a distance. I don't have to get rid of this thing, do I? Alright, because I don't want to, because I've taken it this far. It's funny, I'm getting more usage of, like, the vehicle this way. Alright, let's try this again, because you have a very... Yeah, that double jump, it looks like it can just barely make that. Oh, there we go. So I basically have to just pretty much touch the lip of it and then just pretty much push forward, or jump on the edge of it. Okay, so there we go. Okay, now I could... You know what, let's go down this way. There we go. And that is, again, the idea of, like, when I'm liking this game a lot is when I'm going Sonic in this, going fast. And okay, there we go. So I did just activate one of those defense elements, and the lava came up. But yeah, we're going to defeat Eggman. We're not going to do that. We just did one, and yeah, this game gets a bit choppy. Yeah, it might be on the Xbox, but yeah, it gets choppy. And unfortunately, it's like that on all the versions. And the PS2 version is the worst as far as it... Although, I will say this. Unlike Sonic Heroes on the PS2, where there's a lot of graphical degradations, this one, they do try to have it look similar as far as the PS2, or the GameCube and the Xbox versions on that system. So in that case, it does look a lot better. I was kind of surprised when I played it that way. But it has more choppy graphics as far as the frame rate. But again, I'm playing this in the Xbox. This is supposed to be the stronger of the consoles. Even on the GameCube, it's like, yeah, Sonic Heroes rarely slowed down on both those systems. This is running on the same engine. It should be going the same, but alas, it's not. Which I guess goes to the other thing, which I haven't necessarily mentioned this, the level design, because it seems like there's elements of the levels that are kind of copy-pasted, almost like the original Metroid. But honestly, the way we've gone, it hasn't really shown that much. So in that way, it's been interesting. Yeah, I'm just kind of going top-wise, seeing like, yeah, can I avoid this? Actually, you know... How many of those did I hit? Okay, I didn't hit the first one, so I can get away with doing that. Let me... Yeah, we'll defeat Eggman in a second. I'm going to activate this because otherwise I'm not going to be able to keep going with the top. I want to take this thing as far as I can go. And okay, there we go. So, where is it? Is it going? Yes, no? Alright, I don't want to leave this thing yet. And you know what? I can get off and do it. Actually, wait a minute. When I get off, that's the other thing. Alright. Yeah, you have that.
The ultimate power.
Yeah, you hold the ultimate power. I'm not going to do anything with that. Alright. Whoa! Alright, do we... Okay, turn it on. Okay, perfect. Because when you turn that on, the lava goes up. Perfect. Because I just want to keep this thing. In fact, this is very interesting this way. It's like, yeah, no, I want my top. Or since Inuyasha was mentioned in the chat, we'll go to that one. Like the spinning top thing that Chippo does on that. At some point, I gotta show that PS1 game off. And can I? Yeah, I'm taking this as far as we can go. Oh no! All right. Yeah, I don't think we can take it. All right. Yeah, the top was fun. I'm glad we were able to find that. I'm glad we were able to open the door and get the key and showcase that. Alright, so we're gonna... Actually, you know what? We'll take the top out in style. Here's how. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna jump on this. Jump off. Hope I don't die. I'm really risking this by doing this. Hit that B button, and there we go. Alright, bye-bye, top. Thank you. Again, made this a very interesting playthrough of this game for it. Oh, whoa, whoa. Alright, yeah, that was close. But yeah, we have the fans there. It's like, yeah, we're floating up, and we're all good. And there are the egg pawns again on the tracks. Whoa! Yeah, oh shit! Jump out of the way, and I'm dead. Alright, but I hit that. Unfortunately, we're getting an E rank because of that, but I'm not really carrying on rank now. I will say this. I'll show this when we go into the select mode briefly. I have a lot of the A ranks because the way I tend to do this, it's like the hard missions for Knuckles and Rouge and Sonic Adventure 2, where I play them. I know exactly what to do. I just go in the second time, and I just do it in like a few seconds. And that's kind of how I work this game too. Like, yeah, we're getting massive speed. Whoa! Yeah, unfortunately, I can't jump out of the way quick enough in that case. But yeah, just keep hitting B here. Now, I like that I can jump to the sides like that, but compared to something like Psychonauts, which came out the same year as this, like, yeah, this is not as polished. There you go. Yeah, we're going woo fast. Oh, what's... Oh, looked like the screen there was kind of like... The textures weren't there, but... There we go, made it.
In possession of the Chaos Emerald.
So there we go, we got the Chaos Emerald, and we're all set.
Doctor, at last I'll hear the truth from you.
Well, sort of. Because unfortunately, as I mentioned... Yeah, okay. Again, to quote my girlfriend, at least I got a score. 0 for everything except normal, but there we go. And it does do the subtraction of points. It's like with Knuckles Chaotix. It's that one in this game that do the subtracting of points based on how things go.
And you too, Omega.
Alright, so now Eggman is calling us Shadow Androids. Like, yeah, that's my last name.
But did you really think that you could challenge me?
Or... You think you can keep up with me? And then, of course, a second later he says, What? He's caught up. Here we go.
You're going straight to hell.
Oh boy, yeah. Remember, this game was rated teen initially. It did not get an E10 initially. What happened, I think I mentioned this when we did Sonic CD, was that Sega said, we're not including the Streets of Rage games and Bonanza Brothers and Unlockables and Sonic Gems collection in the US because it would get a teen rating. We don't want to, sully the franchise with family unfriendly elements. And with Streets of Rage 3, they have a point. But then the day after, this got a teen rating, and then they had to edit it down to an E10. Alright, this is the Egg Dealer. It is a slot machine, and I've heard a lot of people say this. This might be one of the... Damn. Okay, I died. I clearly hate this boss that much, but definitely one of the... We've mentioned this before. Eggman makes weird things. You question, the logic of what he's doing. So in this case, he has a slot machine on there. When he winds up something like that, like the rockets, he'll shoot out at you, and you'll be hurt. But you're homing attack into the buttons, which is insanely specific when you try to do that. Especially right there. I'm, right next to it, and I'm missing. But now I'm further and I hit it. So you line up all three with the bomb there. You stop the reels that way. When I'm the last one to stop the reels, he'll fall down there, he'll drop the bomb on himself, and he'll blow up and blow me up. And he'll eventually stop the reels eventually. If he stops it himself, it'll hurt me. But here's the other thing about this, and hey, stop that! Yeah, indeed. When he invented this, he put a shadow element on this, and so you have... No! Not Shadow Fever! Yeah, you get Shadow Fever when you do that. And what happens is that makes you have your Dark Gauge up, and you have instant usage of the Chaos Blast. And you can use it twice. Just blow him up. Or, okay, technically 3 if you get to him close enough, or if he trips. So, Chaos Blast! There you go. Okay, so we got about half of his health down. Also, he got the robots there. Also, if I hit that, we can also make it not match. And it goes beep, beep. And so, yeah. Yeah, you're missing on the slots. So, if he stops that, by the way, it'll be a problem. In this case, if I get the ring, I get his ring. So he can do that. Also, after time, that'll stop anyway. And yeah, I'm literally right next to him. I'm trying the homing attack. It's not doing anything. Ow. Yeah, indeed stop that. I'll say that. Okay, but yeah, it didn't match, so we got that set. But... And that's the thing, I can feasibly... I've seen situations, I'm homing attacking from here, and I'll hit him. Or I'll get towards the reel, I'll do the lock-on. So they clearly didn't program this properly. So that's the other thing about that. Alright, so let's see. Okay, get the ring. Yeah, usually getting that last hit is weird. Alright, there we go. So we got the rings. And what that does is that makes rings appear on the center, which is a tough thing to get over there because there's... Yeah, it's in the center over the lava pit. And like with a lot of the 3D Sonic games, when it comes to the bosses, the camera is focused on him. The other thing to do is also pick up weapons here. Actually, I want to see what happens with the egg pawns. Because he will eventually, if I leave him to his devices, he'll eventually set that off to what he wants. So, yeah, let him go. We'll see what happens. Let's get over here and be safe. Because I don't know if I've actually ever seen him do the egg pawns. Yeah, keep going. Get the lucky egg pawns there. There we go. Pawn Fever. Alright. Okay, so the egg pawns come out and they'll try to destroy me, but yeah, I was like, we're with, we got Omega, we got me, we got guns. Yeah, they're not surviving for long. Oh, right. Yeah, it's the other thing. You can feasibly land into him. Alright, did I stop that or did he? Oh, no. Right, there's another egg pawn. Of which I think this is the second game that appeared in. The first one was Sonic Heroes. Alright, come on, stop. Okay, now if I hit the last one, I'm trying to think if that...
No! Don't drop them here!
Egg Dealer reminds me of Tron's robot. Oh, from Mega Man Legends and from The Adventures of Tron Bond, which, by the way, when I get my situation figured out how to stream PlayStation 3, the first games I bought for that, along with Klonoa, I bought Mega Man Legends 2, I bought The Misadventures of Tron Bond, and I have Mega Man Legends for the Nintendo 64. We'll play it. Alright, there's the rockets. When you hit the rockets, he'll shoot them himself. But yeah, you're right. It does kind of look like that way. The nice, you know, color of it, the orange there. Like, the only thing missing now is, you know, like, the little serve bots coming out, which I guess the egg pawns kind of are.
Not Shadow Fever!
Alright, that line, and yeah, yo, there's the egg pawn stabbing me in the face, but no, we're gonna blow Eggman up.
What? No! This can't be!
Alright, so there we go. That is the playthrough that you guys in the chat told me to do, and thank you very much. I had a great time with this part of it, but we're not done with this game yet. Also not done with the story, or what the story is now. We gotta be on that, though, so not too bad. B for bye-bye Eggman. There we go, got the last emerald. And, well, we're gonna see how the ending goes going this way. I'll get a little recap of this, as far as, like, who are we? Who is Super Old Game Saturday when it comes to this?
And this is how you repay me?
I am Shadow Android, the ultimate battle life form created by Eggman. You may have created me, Doctor, but I will now lead this empire, and androids will rule! This is who I am!
And he always says, "This is who I am" at the end of something.
Target acquired. Locked and loaded. Fire.
What?
Goodbye, Doctor.
And with that, we murdered Dr. Robotnik, and I am not kidding. The idea of that is we killed him. And you also get that way if you go the other mission here. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, we have a Sonic game where we can murder Dr. Robotnik. I mean, technically there's a Sonic game where Sonic dies. That's Sonic 06. And I guess there technically is a game where, okay, I mentioned this with Sonic Lost World. There's a game where Tails has bipolar disorder, and it's very upsetting that way. And in this game, we have this. But alright, so that is the main playthrough. If you're playing this game normally, let me explain this if you are not aware, or if you're just joining now. You have to play this game in order to get the final story for this. You have to play this game 10 times. You have to go to each of those extra missions. So for the last mission we did, the Lava Shelter, we had the choice of going the Omega route, which we did. And thank you, Chad, again, for guiding us through that. You guys were stars on that. So we did that. We could have gone the Eggman route, but and if we did, we'd have to do that if we have to unlock everything. I have to ask: is the canonical Shadow a robot too? I think you kind of said it. No, at least I think that's the idea. Although, and this goes into the Sonic Heroes connection, or not Sonic, well, the Sonic Heroes connection and the Sonic Adventure 2 connection. Yeah, those are the vocalized songs. We have stuff from Crush 40. We have Power Man 5000, this is probably the only way I'm going to be able to get away with playing something from them without, you know, getting a copyright strike. Although this is not the track of theirs. I don't remember the name of this track is. I think you have to go the evil path to get the Power Man 5000 song. So yeah, unfortunately, we could hear that. We can't hear When Worlds Collide, which is from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. But to answer your question on the idea of canonical Shadow or robot, I think not, because they go into the idea of Sonic Adventure 2, because Sonic Adventure 2, I won't spoil the ending for anybody who hasn't played it in the chat there, but this story would not make sense if we take Sonic Adventure 2's story outcome at face value. So the question then becomes is that if we do that, let's take the idea that Sonic Adventure 2's story ties in this exactly. If that's the case, then feasibly, canonically, he would have to be, I would think. I mean, he wasn't always a robot. That's true, because he was created, and we'll see this when we do Sonic Adventure 2 at some point, he was created by Gerald Robotnik as the ultimate life form, and the perspective of being able to feasibly protect the world. That was the thought. And that was the idea also to protect his granddaughter, Maria, who we saw murdered in the opening cutscene. And we got the idea of her being killed in Sonic Adventure 2, although we kind of had that off-screen in that one. But yeah, in that case, there was that perspective, and then he created in that game the other thing, which was the Bio-Lizard. Which was the thought, like, which is the ultimate life form, and then also the idea of Gerald Robotnik wanting revenge on Gunn and on the world for raiding the Ark and killing his granddaughter. Which we'll get some of that into that, and then what happens in the background of that is that the government kidnaps him, or Gunn kidnaps him, they tie him up to a chair, he gives like a final pleading thing, and then they kill him with a firing squad. That's the context of that. Although, in that game, I will say I don't think it's as potentially quease-inducing as some of the elements of this game. We kind of didn't see it. There's like a couple missions like you blow up cities for that, where that happens. But we didn't see it that way. And so there we go. That is the playthrough of that. The one thing I will show, I'll show that at the end. We'll go to the library. We'll go to the library now. I believe when you do this, let's see something. Because they do give you extra story elements, and they give you these differently based around what stages you go. Because you're seeing here, when I played this 10 times, you have to do this 10 times. You complete all those circles there to get the last story. You have to, it takes record of what path you went. So I was like, I went all evil there. I went sort of evil until the end. All sort of in the middle. That was there that way. I just want to see if the one we did is in the... Hold on. 1, 2... Let me count how many we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... Okay, so because I think it does take that. Because when you hit this button, by the way, I'm not going to hit A on this. It shows you all of the cutscenes that went to the story path you took. So... in that case... Okay, no. Okay, here we go. So this was our path. The Super Old Game Saturday method of playing Shadow the Hedgehog, based on you, the chat. And again, I thank you very much. I thank you very much for your viewership each week. I love doing this, and I love, mixing up with all of you. And it's a lot of fun. I really like that, and I hope I'm giving you a lot of fun to it as well. Our way was the Monarch style, where we started with Stopless, we went to Digital Circuit, we went down to Prison Island, we went into Mad Matrix, so we covered the internet completely. Then we destroyed the internet, so we're not seeing that again. And then we went to, the Egg Rebellion, whatever that was, and then the Lava Shelter, and then we took the good path, sort of, and murdered Dr. Robotnik. But, as much as I'm grateful that you guys gave us that perspective, that is not how the story really went. And I might do this when I put this on the YouTube site. I might edit in. If you've ever seen the movie Clue from the 80s, it is based on the board game. And it's a wonderful, wonderful movie. It's kind of like a Agatha Christie take on it. When that movie came out in theaters, they gave it a different ending for each time they screened it. When it came to video, they had little things like 4 different endings for the film, and then they have like a little perspective that says like, this is what could have happened, but hey, here's what really happened. I'm tempted to like put something into that when I edit this. When I put this up on the YouTube site, because I've done that with a couple things. I did that when I did my Mega Man 7 thing, like, the game crashed. And thank God this game didn't, because this game can crash. And I was very nervous about that playing this. Although, watch, I'm going to say that, and it's going to ruin us now. Because after you play the game 10 times, each of those 10 endings, doesn't matter which way you go, as long as you get to the end and get all 10 of those, you unlock the last story. So it's basically a little more than double of what you did in Sonic Heroes, where you had to play each of the team story and then unlock the last one. Here you do it 10 times. We're going to play the last story. This is my first time playing the last story. I've seen it played. I've seen other Let's Play channels do it. I'm sort of a Let's Play channel, I guess. I'm a stream more than anything, and then it becomes a Let's Play channel later. But this is my first time playing it, so this is going to be a first for a lot of reasons. So this is like first the thing we found as far as the vault in the Lava Shelter, and now the last story. So this is the ending that is canonical, and unlike Sonic 06, where Sonic 06, and we'll find that out when we get to that game, it retcons itself at the end of the game. The way the story operates is that everything that happens in that game is totally turned off at the end. This one doesn't. So this is the actual canonical story of what's going on. In fact, I got the box holding up right here. I'm looking at the back of it saying, Hero Villain, uncover the truth about Sonic's arch-rival Shadow the Hedgehog. And, like, we have the option of what to do, but, like, technically, yeah, our choice didn't matter. So then if Shadow wasn't always a robot, then he was a genetically engineered hedgehog, which I think is the idea. I mean, I think that's the perspective that they're kind of trying to go with. I mean, you could feasibly say, we can get this, Sonic feasibly could be seen that way. Because, like, well, you think, like, a real hedgehog. No. Or then you, like, go into this franchise and think, like, well, you put that into perspective on that. And we'll get into that more for sure when we do Sonic Adventure 2, and I guess sort of when we go now, because we went that path. That was mostly seeing Eggman more than anything. We barely saw Black Doom, who's the bad guy of this game. We missed a lot of other characters. The Gun Commander, the guy we saw at the beginning, like, he hates Shadow for apparently getting Maria killed, even though he sent the gun forces up there to kill her, or to raid the place, and she ended up dying in the Maelstrom. But, yeah, they're not there. But they kind of will be here, sort of, when we go to the last story. Let's go into last story, and we'll play the game and finish it through this way. And then we'll probably take a look at the library and some stuff as well. Alright, so when you complete all 10 levels, we had that Fire in the Sky Festival at the beginning. There we go, there's our old newspaper. Yeah, tonight's the best view of the Black Comet, which comes here every 50 years, so the game tells. And there we go, we got some red elements going in the sky. There's gonna be actually a bit of story we're sitting.
I've got all the Chaos Emeralds.
Okay, so we got all the Chaos Emeralds last time. That makes sense, story-wise at least. I thought we uncovered it. I thought we were a robot. But enter Black Doom. I mean, he's made from Doom's blood, so he can't be a robot. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. And hey, look at all the Sonic characters. Yeah, we haven't seen... We saw Sonic once, and Eggman's alive somehow. I don't know. Maybe I just hit him. Okay, we saw Rouge, at least. But we also have Tails and Knuckles and Amy, and I think Cream the Rabbit was in there, I think. Alright, so we gotta save the humans from their own demise for salvation. That's the idea of what he's doing and why the aliens came down and took over.
Has them on a path of self-destruction.
Well, you speak of mutual assured destruction. Nice story. Tell that to Reader's Digest.
We're here to save them from themselves without perfect order, allowing them to live through their desperate lives in peace. Humans are a great energy source for us. They will be well kept.
So basically, he wants to intern the humans and control them feasibly, but we have something else going on he's doing. He stole the Chaos Emeralds, I guess, just by looking at us. And this goes to the idea in Sonic Adventure 2 of what happens with Chaos Control. Do you have to A, hold a Chaos Emerald for it, and B, can anyone do it? And feasibly, anyone can do it, because Sonic did it. And you didn't even need the actual Chaos Emerald. He had the properties of the real one. But by doing that, he brought the Black Comet, which is in space there, normally, he brought it down into Westopolis in that field we started in.
What was that? What just happened?
Alright, that is, well, that is Lisa Ortiz as Amy, who also was Cynthia in Silent Hill 4. And also, I know her as Patina from Ujimajo Dorime, the dub of that, which actually is a show I quite like, surprisingly. But definitely has some interesting elements to it. And she's also one of the kindest people. I'm just going to go on this. We're going to see what's going on as far as things going on with the story. But Lisa Ortiz, I've actually met her in person. She was at Otakon a couple years ago. She's like one of the nicest people you can imagine. I mean, she was involved in like this Make-A-Wish thing of like a young kid who had like a disease, and he was a huge fan of Pokemon Go. It was like they want to make a real perspective of actually people wearing Pokemon costumes for that, and her, because she does voice work for Pokemon still, and she does like translations of the show for the script, and she was like heading that thing, and it was beautiful. It was lovely, and it was like just like the nicest person you could imagine to that, and she does good work as far as voice acting. So there you go. And going into this is what you're saying. The idea of Shadow being made now from Doom's blood, And he made a deal with Gerald Robotnik, so this game is saying, so that, you know, we can be protecting him, or he'd protect him for the purpose of that, and we were created for that. So it's kind of changing how Sonic Adventure 2 went with the background of Shadow.
Me? I can't believe it.
That can't
Or,
be.
no, or in Eggman's words, no way, I can't believe this. But yeah, apparently now, yeah, Robotnik's grandfather stabbed us in the back for Black Doom.
Let's do this.
Maybe.
Crush that cosmic rock ball.
Alright, we'll do that, Dan Green.
Knuckles!
But apparently someone said to him, shut up! And did something else, because they're not moving. Sort of, but you're going to see the weirdness of this. Yeah. What's that sound? Can't be. Gas. So basically, yeah, he's releasing gas. It's paralyzing everybody.
The end is near now.
And there's a pretty funny cutscene because the idea is like, yeah, they're stuck there on their own, but eventually you see like their mouths moving. But yeah, they're all frozen.
My dear offspring, eat and devour these savory dishes.
Oh yeah, they're the
Back off, you slime balls.
What is that?
yeah. Cause see, look there, like Amy's eyes are moving, or there's his moving. Here's Sonic's mouth moving, his eyes moving, all that. It's like they're not paralyzed that much, but yeah, they're being eaten alive, feasibly. So we gotta do something to this, or can we do something to this?
Please help me, Shadow.
With the power of Maria's voice, we're reminded again of, you know, why we were put on this Earth, or why Shadow was. Which is also how it worked in Sonic Adventure 2, and then stomped that thing.
I am Shadow the Hedgehog. I've left the past behind me. No one can tell me what to do now. I will destroy you, Black Doom.
This is who I am!
And this is how you repay me? The irony of it all is I gave you life. Now, I'll take it back.
Alright, so there he goes, and yeah, they'll be fine getting eaten, don't worry.
You're our only hope now.
Or they're moving feasibly, so yeah, they can't be too bad off. Alright, this is the last way. This is the last level of the game. And I'm doing this totally blind. I've never done this. And we have 10 minutes to get to the end.
Can you hear me, Shadow? He's got to be on the inside.
And how are you talking if you guys are paralyzed? So yeah, this doesn't hold up. But again, I'm putting logic to something I feasibly shouldn't. But point is, like, yeah, just go to the end and run. This is kind of the appeal of Sonic now. Is like, yeah, you're running through all this stuff, and we have 10 minutes. So this is gonna be new for me as far as this. I'm like, yeah, you know what?
It's a black alien gunship! Run!
Alright, that is Tails, by the way, who is voiced by Amy Pallant, who, also voiced the main character, going back to Ojimaju Dorimi again in that show. So it's interesting, like, oh yeah, this is Dory from that show. It's like, and that goes to the idea of, like, a lot of the 4Kids actors here. I mentioned Dan Green, so we have Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! Here. And he does not say, it's time to duel. Also, you have this section. You have, like, the Black Comet Worm. It plays like Panzer Dragoon, weirdly enough. We kind of fly around, and you, like, hold the X button and kind of aim around. It's not as good as Panzer Dragoon. Or it's not as good as Kingdom Hearts 2, which pulled from Panzer Dragoon for the gummy ship sections, and thank God for that, by the way, when they did that. Especially over the first Kingdom Hearts when they did it. But yeah, flying around here and just shooting, and he has a health bar. So at least I'm showing that perspective as well, while also showing off the elements. Also, one of the 35... What was that? 35 times 3 lines? Chat, do you know what this is at all? Is this in the PlayStation 2 version, or the GameCube version, or any of them? Do you know what that is? I've never seen that. Also, I want to see something. Alright, because we don't have a mission, we're just going through. I've never seen that. I know they kind of slapped this game together. Well, it came out quickly, number 1. So, I mean, I know that, but it's like... Really? What was that? There was not even voice to that. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna love going back to the footage on this. I mean, I have to for the purpose of editing, so it's not like, oh yeah, I'm vain, I love the sound of my voice. I have to get used to it for the purpose of that, and I am used to it now, so that's good. But I'm gonna love to go back to that and see, like, what was that? In that way, and that's the other reason I like to play games like this, even games that Again, whether it's good or debatable whether it's not good, because I've heard people who like this game or think it's better than I'm technically giving it credit for, and I'm kind of in a weird place of saying, like, yeah, I don't like this, but I also bought it, and I'm showing it off, and I'm having fun with the discovery elements. But that's the other reason why I love doing this, or having people along with it, because we share that experience and like, hey, this is something I didn't see. This is something I've never noticed. Do you know anything about this? What's your experience? All of that. And in that way, I could play the worst game you could ever met. I could play Big Rigs Overlord Racing for this channel, and have a fucking blast doing it, just for the purpose of that idea. Alright, we could use the, the chaos control, and it would make sense, because I only need to get to the end, but you know what? I'm going to artificially challenge myself, and we're going to run. Also, I noticed that I think when you go through this door, it's supposed to have this sound. Let me hear this. Or when I hear the next one, we'll do that. Also, if you go through the other paths of the game, this is actually, I believe, very much like Final Haunt, which I believe is the last level on the hero side.
Guess I have to go up.
Alright, let's go up then. Damn it. Also, there's a ship up there. We'll keep dropping out Black Doom peoples.
The only way to get through is to use chaos control.
Oh, right, I have to use it. Okay, crap. Alright, so much for I'm not going to use it. I'm going to be the good guy here. So, no. I forgot. They put, from what I know of this stage, because I've never played it. I've never personally played it, but I've seen it being played. You have dead ends in this stage. There is no way to go straight through and run. I thought there was. So I was wrong. So I need to use chaos control. So I gotta kill these enemies. Ow. Get blindsided. I don't know what happens when I, lapse 10 minutes, but I'm probably gonna be dead if I do that. Thankfully, there are a lot of enemies here, and they all will go to my hero meter. Alright, where are they? Where are they? Alright, one more. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I want to cancel that at least now, so... Wait, who was that? I guess while I'm going through is like, yeah, we're technically getting the other Sonic characters. The only character we're not seeing here is, Cream... Oh, fine. Alright, we will see the Chaotic Crew, sort of. Another dead end. Alright. So we gotta keep farming the Chaos Control. There is a glitch you can feasibly use to get through the entire level in, like, a minute. And I don't think I can do it. Because what you have to do is you have to farm with the checkpoints. You have to time your button press for when you activate the Chaos Control. And if you do it right, it'll show, like, the menu showing, like, which checkpoint you want to go to. And then, if you keep it in there, it just keeps going until the end. Ow. But yeah, as I was saying, we don't have... I think that's the only person we haven't seen, because... Yeah, yeah, I think that was it. So, Cream the Rabbit's the only character we didn't see as far as that. We'll see her in Sonic Event... Or Sonic... Well, if I was playing Sonic Adventure DX, we'd see her, but... We're going to full Dreamcast. It's Dreamcast or bust on that game. I'm sorry for all you fans of DX, but Dreamcast is where you play Sonic Adventure. US Dreamcast, at least. But... We'll see her there, or we would see her there, but we'll see her in Sonic Heroes. And, also Sonic Adventure 2, when I get to that one. Ow! Alright, come on, we just... gotta get through this. Also, I guess I haven't really talked the guns much as far as differences of them. There's also, like, there's different variances, like the pistols and the, machine guns. There's also, like, the rockets, which have a little bit of a target, but it doesn't always work as well as you'd like. And so they put it on the ground.
Damn it.
Ow. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make this. Yeah, why is he not dying? I'm shooting him with the gun. You know what? I think I might let him kill me. Alright, the homing attack is doing something, but it's taking a long time to do something. Alright. As I said, this is the first time I'm playing this, so you're seeing it first that way. And I am too. Alright, let's go and kill the other guy. Or maybe I'll die, I don't know. Okay, maybe I was missing. Maybe I was I have to hit the eye. Alright, there we go. We got chaos control. Let's go. Alright, so let's see what... What hit me? What the hell hit me? Okay, it was the side of the, Is it this? Oh, hold on. We find one that doesn't blow up. Okay, it's that. Alright. I wasn't sure what hit me. I was like, wait a second. Actually, I think what I want to do is I want to get...
Guess I have to go up.
Well, gotta go up, but also get a weapon. Alright, in the meantime, while I'm doing this... There we go. And use the homing attack, which I haven't been using much, because honestly, it doesn't work as well. Man, he just shot me from the distance. I guess while I'm going to this chat, let me know your memories of this game and other thoughts you might have on it, particularly other versions you've played of it. Because again, this is Xbox, but PS2 I played a little bit, and it's also on the GameCube. And I guess other elements of 3D Sonic. Okay, they do have the ship here, so yeah, I can just keep killing them.
Damn it.
Alright, so let's keep waiting for him to drop. Oh, at least I'll get a bunch of... Oh. Because I don't get that height. Come on, come on. There we go.
Damn it.
Ow. Whoa, that was weird. It was kind of like warping the graphics. But I think that might be more of an effect because of... Okay, yeah, in that case, I am learning stuff about this game.
The only way to get through is to use chaos control.
Yeah, I know. Okay, at least they will give me a lot when I kill them. Alright, let's try this again.
Behold the ultimate power.
Be careful up on that bridge.
Oh, I guess that's Amy then.
Damn, not here.
Yeah, I'll get shot in the back on the bridge. Alright. You know what? No. The only reason I'm thinking going backwards is because I want to see if I can't get better options as far as the combat, but I'll just go up there and kill the enemies and get the gun and we'll be good.
Go up.
Of course, I have to use the homing attack, which isn't as powerful in this game as it is in other ones. Particularly Sonic Adventure 1 and 2.
Damn it.
Even Sonic Heroes, because it's also weird, even though this is running on the same engine, I mentioned that a couple of times. It's weird, you can't necessarily, you know, keep repeatedly hitting it. Like, keep hitting it, like, yeah, keep going into them. Sometimes you'll just kind of go all over the place. Which is, I think, the other thing about this game, which is why I have issues with it. It's just the way it controls. And just, I guess, the light explosion going on there.
Through is to use chaos control.
Alright, how about this? Okay, yeah, I got a lot of ammo for this thing, so as long as I get him, I can go to the next section. Oh! And hold on to my rings, because the same rule applies. You get hit with no rings, you die. But as I mentioned, you don't lose all your rings unless you're at less than 10. Or at 10, specifically. Alright, but I have 133 shots of this thing, so just keep shooting. What's your take on Mighty Number 9? I played the demo on the... Well, okay, here's the thing. When it came out, I was not one of the people who backed it, not because I didn't want to, but because I didn't have the money at the time. So I was like, alright. When it came out, I know people will back the game. I wanted to play the demo because I'd heard elements of, like, how it is. And I was like, how do I get a demo of this? And I realized, oh, wait a minute. It's on the Xbox 360. Yeah, weirdly, Mighty Number 9 is on basically every system. The only SKUs for it that didn't come out, I think, were on the Vita and the on the Vita and the 3DS. They never actually canceled those versions, but they never came out and they never will. I'm pretty convinced. Also, by the way, when you're doing Chaos Control over a pit, it at least will not, you know, let you down or let you drop into the pit and die. But when it came out, I was like, I want to play this, but I want to at least play a demo. There's not demo on any system I had at the time that, you know, had it. There was demo on the 360. I played it, I thought it was okay, but I was also questioning a lot of the tech elements of it, as far as, like, elements of frame rate and elements of control and things like that. And it's interesting when you brought that up, because I've been thinking about that a little bit recently, because we're talking about, you know, people who've made, like, big franchise games like that falling hard with a project, because there's that one, but also we're running into that now with, I mentioned this briefly last week, Balan Wonderworld, which is the new game that Square Enix made about a month ago, which was developed by Yuji Naka, who made Sonic, so it's fitting to bring that up for the purpose of this. He was not involved in this. I think he like maybe did a produce job or something, or his name was credited somewhere. But he made that along with, I'm trying to remember the first name of the guy, Oshima, who designed Sonic's design. And that's a game that's kind of been a big, you know, mess. I mean, it's almost killing Square Enix, let's just say it. Thank God they have Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate coming out in a few months, because otherwise they'd be screwed with how that game's going. Going back to the Mighty Number 9 case, I played that, I heard all those things, I played it on the 360, played demo, I thought it was okay. And I'm thinking about it recently because of the Balan Wonderworld deal, but also because, I mentioned this before, the new systems. The PS5 and the Xbox Series X. That, Mighty Number 9 has big problems with frame rate. But, on the new systems, they take into account the frame rate they were targeting. So, with Mighty Number 9, this is going to be an interesting case. Will it potentially be fixed by playing the PS4 version on the PS5 and the Xbox One version on the Series X, or Series X specifically? And I think with Mighty Number 9, what I played, I liked the idea that I didn't think it played badly. I had questions as far as its design and things, but there's a lot of potential that game has that made me think that it could be interesting, and also made me wish, like, man, there's a lot of technical problems that hopefully they could fix. I mean, there's no fixing that Wii U version, I'll tell you that right now. That is a mess. And also the elements of the loading, which also the new systems fix those as well. So, honestly, I mentioned this before with Sonic Unleashed on the new systems played that way through backwards compatibility. And this is the exciting thing, I think, about this new generation. I think the new systems could potentially be the savior for games like those. Because I don't think Mighty Number 9 is a bad game. I think there's things it has that are interesting. I think it plays decently. With better tech running to make it, you know, make the frame rate issues with the go, I think we might potentially be onto something with that, and it might be, and I've heard people say this sometimes, do you necessarily want to have a game, warts and all, the way it used to be?
I found him.
Oh, I found Black Demon, we're good. But I think with that, the thought of, you know, is it necessarily, you know, changing that intention of what the game designers are making, or is like, could it be made better? I don't like modern Square Enix at all. I take it it's because of the fact they don't have a whole lot of things going, or the fact that they have different paths of games they're making. Because I will say, there are things that they do now that I adore. In particular, I love, well, like we mentioned this before, Life is Strange. I love that. I love what that's doing. Although it's not Square developing it, for sure. I mean, I guess with Square, honestly, they haven't been doing a whole lot. And I'll say that I've been burned by modern Square to certain extents. Like when I bought the port of Final Fantasy IX that came out for the Xbox One, where it was a port of the PC version that then reintroduced problems that they patched out of the PC version, and the Switch version does that as well. I remember playing it. I'll tell you this, I'll go back to this story as well. And it goes with this game too, like the difference of versions. I always loved seeing that difference of versions, or me playing a game for years and introducing it to someone else, or them introducing a game that I'm playing new for that as well. And that happened with Final Fantasy IX. I played this, I was like, my girlfriend's a huge one of Final Fantasy IX. I said, I bought this on Xbox One. She's like, oh great, you're gonna love this game. I was like, okay, let's play it. But I was like, she was like, hey, go down the path here. I was like, why are you not doing this right? I was like, I'm trying, I'm moving wrong. I was like, I want you to, I was like, take the controller, let's see how you handle this. She did, she said, what the hell did they do to this game? It's like, the controls are terrible. And it's like, so what we did is we put the PS1 game, it's like, I'm not doubting her. I'm like, she's saying like, yeah, they ruined this thing. I like, play on the PS1, it's like, no, it's great. It's like, so, it was a bad port job. But I mean, their latest games have been bad or okay at best. I will ask you one question though. Have you played the Final Fantasy VII Remake? I would exempt that one, for sure. That game is amazing. Even if you're not big on Final Fantasy VII, or even Final Fantasy 15, which it runs like, that game is incredible. That one I will absolutely defend strongly. Okay, meanwhile we have the Chaotix crew trying to get into the internet again. And, yeah, well, there we go. So Charmy, you know, slammed his ass into the thing, quite literally. And it worked. I mean, I guess what I'll say is, like, it is interesting when you get a difference of a company, when it's been, with Square, when they've been as storied as they have been, and then you get the new perspectives of things. That being a different perspective. Oh, but by them hitting that, by the way, because they're kind of ignoring the story, sort of, is that it suddenly gave us these little video things of showing the truth behind what was going on with Gerald.
Down this research facility.
And you do also kind of get Mike Pollock, I think it's him, doing the take on Eggman but sounding more elderly. Apparently this video went out everywhere, so it was like, I guess Charmy figured out how to viralize stuff before things came around. I mean, fair enough. And then we have the president, who we've barely seen, again voiced by Matty Blaustein, and the gun commander, who we also haven't seen much, who has different colored eyes. I guess he has either different contacts or it's like some kind of, you know, deformity. I don't know if they ever explained that. But he's seeing like, hey, we were thinking like, oh, Gerald Robotnik was going to kill us, and he was. But with this, like, okay, it's a little different, and we even have that with the still paralyzed, you know, Sonic crew.
To use the very power they intended to use.
I mean, I guess going back to the Square thing, is like, I think it's a case-by-case thing. There's certain things I'm really liking of theirs, but you're right, it is a different take than what they are, and you could say the same with Sega, honestly, too, with that. But I will say this, if you haven't played the Final Fantasy VII Remake, please play it. I mean, I'm coming from someone who does not even have the console to play it on, and I am praying that they port that other places, because the exclusivity of it, I guess, finally expired. It was like a year exclusive for PS4. It expired. They're putting it on PS5 in a few months. I'm hoping they go Series X and Xbox One, at least PC, feasibly. I'd like to see that going. I have played the remake sequel a little. It does show some promise. Yeah, because here's the thing. Let me give you a little dirty little secret. Like with Metal Gear Solid, I've had Final Fantasy VII for years. I've barely played it. Not because I don't like it, but I've barely played it. And I'm kind of guilty that way with a lot of Final Fantasy games. My girlfriend could not get, thanks to PlayStation Plus, because it is on PlayStation Plus, and you can play it instantly that way, which is great to be able to do that. My girlfriend bought this game when it came out last year. She's not big on Final Fantasy VII really that much. She likes it, but she thinks, like, I love other Final Fantasy games. She loves 9, as I mentioned. She loves 6. 4 is my jam in particular, if you're talking Final Fantasy. Like 3 different versions of that on DS, Super Nintendo, and PlayStation. She played Final Fantasy VII Remake, she was hooked. She couldn't stop playing it. She doesn't even care usually about stuff with the achievements and the trophies and things. She has almost all of them out of that game. And then she was like, you gotta play this game. It's killing me not to be able to tell you certain things of this. And I played it. I was hooked. It's the kind of thing I thought to myself, like, I think this game is terrific. And it expands on what Final Fantasy VII was doing initially, and then expands it out, and then also expands to the new elements of that game that have come around, like Crisis Core, and Dissidia, and other elements, I guess feasibly like Dirge of Cerberus, amongst other things. And I think it is terrific, so yeah, keep playing it. It really holds up. But meantime, yeah, we have Super Shadow. Because there is a Sonic the Hedgehog game going here. Yeah, you mentioned Devil Doom. Here he is. This is the final boss of the game. And I kind of don't know what I'm doing. Well, okay, I sort of do. The idea I understand is... Yeah, how the hell do you do that? How they break out? They don't explain it. But point is that we're Super Shadow. Like with the other Sonic games, when you're at the end, and you have the super form, you're going around, and you have, health going down, or your rings going down. You gotta keep them up. In this case, you gotta bust the balloons. You gotta hit this dude in the eye. Hold X to build a power and release it for the Chaos Spear. When you treat his own game as a sequel rather than a remake, it's not bad. It is definitely a lot different, and I've heard some people saying, like, hey, that it is not the same thing. But I put it the same way I put, like, the remake of the Resident Evil games, particularly of 1, 2, and 3.
Get more rings from those balloons.
Alright, we'll see if we can do that. In that case, it's like, I think that's fine, and I think also in the case of Final Fantasy VII as is, it still kind of adheres to the kind of layout. It's like with Resident Evil, because Resident Evil, the remake for GameCube, and they've released it on other things, it's its own thing, but it also still is kind of the same game to a degree. They just kind of rethink some of the elements. And same with the 2 and 3 remakes that came out a couple years ago. I see this is the same thing. Alright, you're supposed to hit him in the eye from what I understand, but I am not doing a good job.
Control.
Alright, he does that, by the way. I think when that happens, those balloons come, and I gotta get them. Because I'm running out of rings. They each give you 20. Because like with all the super forms, your rings go down. You hit 0, you're dead. Also, you get Chaos Control. I've heard horror stories not to use this. We're using it. I don't give a shit. It slows down bosses, as I mentioned, but it does not slow down my rings going down. So I'm probably gonna die. Unless I find something else. Yeah, I'm done.
Maria.
Yeah, and there we go. So it's just like Doomsday on Sonic and Knuckles. You're falling down, dying. And Electros, let's go back to something. We're talking story on this game. You mentioned the fact... Okay, fine. Robotnik's saying he got out. Or they all got out. Somehow. I don't know. Okay, hit him in the eye. Feasibly. But if you played this level for almost 10 minutes, what happens is you get what you said in the chat. We'll go back to that. You said, Robotnik will come on. He will tell you specifically... Well, in our story, our perspective, how we played, he said, oh, you're just a robot. He was lying to us. He then comes out and explicitly says that, no, you are the real Shadow.
You'll burn through your rings over time.
Okay, we're not using Chaos Control after what just happened. Yeah, I'm doing that. It's more of a sequel because Sephiroth introduced some Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. I've been told that. And I've seen Advent Children. I didn't get much out of it myself, but then again, having played more of the Final Fantasy VII Remake and going into Final Fantasy VII itself, I would be willing to give it another shot, particularly seeing, like, the theatrical cut of it. So the director's one. But in that case, you're right, it is a different take, but I've also heard the idea of, like, that being appealing to people. Alright, come on, come on.
Die along with these foolish humans.
Okay, I was interested. He says, like, now come Shadow, but he's like, now, and he's like, die with these humans. Alright, we'll try and get them. I mean, I will say this, we're not getting as much of a kick-ass song to this one as we got in Sonic Adventure with, Alright, Burn's a good song, the Deep Purple song from the 70s, but, that's not in this game. And I wouldn't be able to get away with playing it even if it was. That's a Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock thing. But, as I was saying, we don't have as great a song to take us out on this one, on the boss anyway, as we did in Sonic Adventure. We have Open Your Heart by Crush 40. We had Live and Learn, Sonic Adventure 2. We even had, kind of underrated a little bit, not as great as the other two, but What I'm Made Of, which is in Sonic Heroes.
It's all over if you run out of rings.
I know.
Focus on getting more first.
Alright, let's try again. Oh, okay, I can go to the back of him, so let's try to do that. If easily get the balloon and hit him with the Chaos Spear! If you play the multiplayer in Sonic Adventure 2. Alright, come on, come on. Actually, no, okay, I lied. We are technically getting more of a song here. We are getting I Am All of Me, which is...
Behold the ultimate power.
Yeah, we're not using that.
These foolish humans.
You have to wait for a while for Eggman to tell you. I believe it's like 9 or 10 minutes. We'll see if that happens. Given the success or lack of it I'm having on this boss, we might end up seeing that. I guess the other thing is this.
If you're too far away, your Chaos Spear will be useless. But if you get too close, he'll warp away from you. You need to keep the right distance.
Alright, Dory, thank you. Oh, sorry, Tails. I think Dory from Ojamajo Doremi, but I was like, okay, it was called Magical Doremi over here, but I hated the Japanese variants. Which, despite the fact that they cut that show down significantly, was over here, I still quite like the idea of it. A different take on the magical girl genre that was not just a Sailor Moon ripoff. I like Sailor Moon for sure, but I always thought, like, hey, something a little different, of which that was definitely a case of. And nice hand-drawn art style, I'll say that. Yeah, we gotta kill this thing, feasibly. Come on. Oh, wait, now I have to go where his eye is, which is over... Alright, yeah, go away, because I think what happens is when he does that, when he Chaos Controls away, the ring boxes come back. Or they respawn.
It's useless to attack those flying objects. Listen carefully.
Damn it.
Use your full power Chaos Spear to attack.
Wait, how'd I get down there? And am I gonna... Okay, I've never been down here before. Can you do this? Anybody in the chat who knows about this? I'm not gonna get this. Alright.
I gave you life, and yet you defy me. So be it.
Alright, I guess this is gonna be where most of this playthrough is gonna last, it seems like.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I know you're skipping the comment, that's fine, but now I just gotta hit him again. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Okay, so, alright, so I hit him once with the Chaos Spear, and he goes over that side, but I think I need to... Okay, he puts the wing up. Can you destroy the wings? I don't know, because I have not beaten this thing. Alright, it does take out...
You need rings in order to maintain your super form. You'll burn through your rings over time, so keep an eye to make sure you don't run out.
You can get more rings from those balloons.
Alright. Yeah, I'm doing okay on rings, it's just that I want to make sure I have enough of them, and... Can I hit them with the spear? Yeah, okay, good, I can. And there were 20 a pop, so that's pretty good. Yeah, it's his eyes, I just have to hit him there.
His weak point has to be the eye that's following.
All right, then. Shadow, his eye keeps moving. You've got to track it down.
Alright, so they are telling me what I gotta do, which is again like how Sonic Adventure 2 operates.
These foolish humans.
Spear!
If these are just throwing the finger, or throwing the, not the fingers, or I'm showing out the shots. But there's not really much else to... Okay, yeah, again, I don't want to use that because I think it's gonna not do much. Or maybe I should because... You know, fuck it, we're at 100 rings, it doesn't matter, we're gonna be fine. Shoot him. Yeah, it seems like it's not hitting him. Usually that works well for bosses in the main game, but now it's not. Now, come on, come on.
Shadow, you may be invincible in your super form, but getting hit will cause you to lose time.
It's all over if you run out of rings. If you're running low, focus on getting more first.
Alright, and I guess the way to do that, it seems like, is get close to him, he teleports, and then they, come back. Alright, so... Okay, there we go. Alright, good, got him. There, at least. Just keep doing that, basically. Yeah, this is not the showcase of the skill for this boss, because I've never done it, but, I'm already having a decent time finding out, at least. Alright, so he just keeps jumping there. I guess those wings, I don't know if they do anything if you, bust them. Also, I guess you do have bad, I guess, get the bad meter going. I guess, yeah, destroying cars and things is not good. I was like, I'm already on, you know, the good method. Actually, question. Let's find this out. Alright, yeah. Yeah, let's just blow him up. How about that? Or get a little closer and then blow him up. There we go. Alright, so it sort of hurt him. Now I have this, but that's not going to be...
Chaos control.
Way to go, way to go.
These foolish humans.
Here's the stories I've also heard about this boss. From what I understand, I think the way the targeting on the Chaos Spears is that it... Hold on. Okay, so I just go up on my own, it seems like.
Chaos Spear!
Yeah, it seems like it's just going wherever it wants, feasibly. Or...
To attack those flying objects. Listen to him.
Chaos?
Use your full-power Chaos Spear to attack his eye. That's his spear.
Alright. I mean, at the very least, if I can get to the point where you hear that line, I'll try to do it. As it works while I'm trying to feel my way through this boss. I mean, this will not be the case when I do the other 3D Sonic games. Well, except maybe Sonic 06, because I don't remember the boss for that very well. I think it's actually a lot like this one from what I remember, what little I remember of that one. You're kind of going in a circle like this.
Underestimated the true power of elephants.
Which is always the thing that all the villains do. They always never think about how is the Chaos Emeralds, how are they operating, or what can they really do.
Chaos?
Alright.
Spear!
Why can't you understand that?
Damn it. Ow.
Are the parasites of this world. Absolute power is the only way to the ultimate power. The humans must be eliminated.
Alright, that was a little slow for that text box to come up, the second one. Alright, just keep getting rings. I mean, I'm doing okay. As long as I just get close to him when I'm running out, we should be good.
Chaos Spear!
Alright, where is the eye? Well, I guess you go downwards, but I don't know if that's...
Spear!
Okay, so I can take his wings off. Perfect. All right, that's good.
Chaos.
Chaos?
There you go.
Die along with these foolish humans.
Spear!
Okay, where are the ring balloons? I don't see them. Oh, there's one of them. Okay, there we go. Perfect.
Chaos?
Can you hear me? The gas from that cometous still made its way into our shelter.
Chaos?
Okay, so they got paralyzed with the gas again, but how'd they get out?
Damn it. Got to destroy that thing!
I'll shred you to pieces.
Chaos? Spear!
Chaos. Control.
Chaos?
Die along with these foolish humans.
Alright, am I running out of ring balloons? Okay, no, I'm not. It just didn't look like there were any. Wait, where'd they go? Oh, there they are.
I'll shred you to pieces.
Chaos?
Alright, we might end up seeing that line. Ow.
The gas from this comet will have spread over the entire planet.
Chaos?
Cease these futile attempts to resist. You alone cannot change this planet's fate.
Alright, so we got the evil stuff, or the evil energy, so we're gonna chaos blast this. I don't think it's doing anything. Or wait, let me go to the other side and then do it. Alright, now do it. Okay, it's doing something sort of. Alright, we got 2 more minutes. If I can. Yeah, get out of the way. I need rings. I'm gonna try then and show off the line, because we got 2 minutes left to do that. So I think it's like 9 or 10 minutes is that then that line comes along. Alright, come on, come on. But where are rings?
What do we do? I can't keep
Shadow. I believe.
Where are they? Where'd they go? Just disappear? I'm gonna die, aren't I? And I'm so close. That's the other thing that's really making me upset. Come on, come on. Ah, crap. Alright. Yeah, if there's anywhere that this game is going to be the struggle, it's right here, but... Alright. I guess then, chat, let me know your memories of this boss if you played this game. Is it something that you liked? Or is it something you found interesting? You know what, how about this? Yeah, let's just destroy the wing.
Power of the Chaos Emeralds. Launch the Chaos Spear. Use it to impale them.
Yeah, that's dark. Sonic talking about tailing dudes.
And then release it to build the chaos.
Damn it.
Ow. There we go.
Hey, Shadow, can you hear me? You need rings in order to maintain your super form. You'll burn through your rings over time, so keep an eye to...
I thought it was fun. I mean, it is interesting, I guess, when I get used to it. It's just that... I mean, I'll say this. I mean, when it comes to a lot of the 3D Sonic games, there is definitely a bit of a learning curve when you first find, you know, the last boss elements. Particularly in the 3D ones. More so in some ways than the 2D stuff. So I think in that case, that's probably where I'm at now.
All right, then.
I mean, I guess I'm... Oh, shit, I'm on my last life. Oh, I did not know that. Uh-oh. Yeah, because you have lives in this game. Uh-oh. In that case, let's destroy the wings. If easily by destroying the wings, we should be able to just take them down.
Chaos. Spear. Chaos. Spear.
Chaos. Control.
Okay, as long as I can hold on and get the rest, get the ring balloons. It seems like I sometimes miss them. I'm really right in front of this thing. Okay, I got that one, and that one. Okay, there's another one. I kind of just want to keep getting the ones I have.
You may be invincible in your super form, but getting hit will cause you to lose time.
It's all over if you run out of rings. If you're running low, focus on getting more first.
Yeah, I think I need to do the charge, but just to try and figure it out. Come on.
Chaos.
Damn it.
Ow.
Chaos. Control. Now. Die
Chaos.
along with these foolish humans.
Chaos. Spear. Chaos.
I'll shred you to pieces.
Chaos.
Alright, so at least it does the satellite things if I'm out of the way enough.
Behold.
Yeah, I don't want to use that again because of the ring thing.
Spear.
Shadow, can you hear me? If you're too far away, your chaos spear will be useless.
Chaos.
But if you get
I find it interesting that Tails and everybody, and Sonic and Robotnik and everybody else knows me better than I know myself. As far as Shadow's concerned, although I mean, I guess because they know all the history. That goes to the other thing. Let's talk about this chat while I'm trying to get this guy. Sonic Heroes, it's basically about the idea that nobody tells Shadow what's really going on. Which is why this game exists when you really think about it.
Chaos. Spear.
Chaos. Control.
Chaos.
Die along with these foolish humans.
Spear.
Yeah, I can't control the camera here either, so that's the other problem. Because I want to see those ring boxes, I want to get the ring boxes. Alright, there's one.
It's useless to attack those flying
Death to all who oppose him.
Use your full-power chaos spear to attack his
Alright, we're not doing that, we're blowing them up.
I see. I seem to have underestimated the true power of the Emerald.
Alright, so it is doing something at least.
I will destroy you all the same. I'll shred you to pieces.
Chaos.
I saw the ring box somewhere. Okay, no, I guess not.
Chaos. Control. Now, die along with these foolish humans.
Yeah, I don't want it, especially because I'm on my last life, and I don't know if... I don't know how that works, if I will have to do this again or have to do Final Way again.
Why can't you understand that these humans are the parasites of this world? Absolute power is the only way to bring order to the planet.
Alright, so I hit him there. It just seems like, again, the targeting is really weird.
Open your eyes.
Alright, get out of here. Yeah, it's weird, because I guess when you get hit by these things, you go downwards. It's not like you can control, like, going upwards or downwards the way you can in Sonic Adventure 2. Which is kind of a weird case.
Death to all who oppose me. Chaos.
We almost have him, feasibly.
Spear.
If they just keep doing that, he switches sides.
Behold the ultimate power.
The gas from that covenant still made its way into our shelter.
Alright, so I can just keep doing this now, because I have enough rings. I think I'm going to be able to take him out. You need a manual lock-on. Yes, 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 yes. You are absolutely right. If this had a manual lock-on, this is like Ratchet & Clank controls. I would have loved it. Unfortunately, they did not think that. We have them. I got it, at least. So destroying those wings... So, alright, here's the strategy. Destroy the wings. When you're running low on rings, run into them quickly so it'll go the other way, and then you can get more rings. And then just keep going. Got him. There we go.
I am the supreme being that rules this universe. I am the immortal life form. I am the ultimate power.
No, that's where you're wronger. That's where you're wrong, Black Doom. I'm the ultimate life form. Shadow the Hedgehog.
And the end to my cursed past.
And this is who I am. I do love that, though. I mean, so, again, this is not a game I like, but there's things about it that I'll take case on. Alright, here we go. So, if you can't read those subtitles, I'm sorry, the game is designed that way. They don't contrast it very nicely. To put my past behind me. Chaos Control. I'll tell you what that reminds me of. That reminds me of the days of subtitling foreign films, like in the 80s and 90s, where they put them on video, and the contrast and the subtitles were there. Alright, but then we have the Eclipse Cannon from Sonic Adventure 2. That thing that tore half the moon in half. Well, what we did is we used Chaos Control to toss the Black Comet into it. There's the laser, and boom, it's gone.
Shadow, that was sweet.
I hope he's okay.
I'm sure he's fine, Rouge. After all, he is Shadow.
Did you not remember what happened in Sonic Adventure 2?
Hey! Get back here, you creep!
And there goes Knuckles to beat up Robotnik. I guess showing the most gumption as far as that, although you'd think that it would be Omega to want to do that. But with that, we've defeated Black Doom, and we have saved the world. And then we have those static guys down there who have their hands up.
How ironic. After the way we all treated him, he saved us all in the end. We were all wrong about the Professor.
Well, you're wrong to rate his base. It was like, yeah, he was going to kill you dudes.
Pay homage to Professor Gerald. Let's work to ensure peace and prosperity for a brighter future. What do you say, Commander?
Excellent idea, Mr. President.
Alright, so there was that, and we have one more thing that's going on story-wise, and then I think we'll take a look at the library, and we'll call it a night then.
Goodbye forever, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Alright, with that we have the throwback to the Ark where we are, and sayonara, Shadow the Hedgehog. Yeah, indeed, sayonara on this game. Yeah, this is an experience. It's weird playing it. I'm not hating it as much the way it operated, but I think part of that is because of me being used to it. And also, this song, I will say, is quite good. This is the big Crush 40 song in this game, aside from I Am All Me, is Never Turn Back. It's weird. Gunn wants to honor Joe Robotnik despite him wanting to destroy the planet for revenge. Yeah, I think that's the other thing. I can imagine this game being really well written to kind of explain that better. Connecting it with Sonic Adventure 2 in particular, as far as like, wait a minute, how do they thread that line? The problem is that they don't, and that's really, I think, above anything else, where this game goes. And again, going back to Star Fox 64, where we had last week, admittingly, it doesn't have as many moving parts of a plot like this does, but they had a little more continuity as far as how they're connecting this with other games, feasibly how they're connecting with the Super Nintendo game in the case of that one, because it sort of was based that way, but sort of not. I think with a rewrite, in particular, the story would work better. As far as the mechanics of the game, I mean, it's kind of having some issues, some of the same ones the Sonic Heroes had, but worse elements until you get used to it. I mean, I think that's the idea of any game in some ways. Like, you play it more, you'll get used to it more. I guess that's what's happened with this one for me. So I'll give it that much. I think nowadays, this is not as much of a, you know, blight to me as far as Sonic is concerned, I think, as it was at the time. I think because, I'll tell you why. I mean, I think at the time, I was like, I held Sonic in such high regard, and still do, really. I think what was going on at that point is like, yeah, this is the big next Sonic game. I was not necessarily sure when they unveiled this, and like, oh, they're going with, you know, a more adult direction. It was like, they'll rationalize it, hopefully. I played it, and it didn't. And like, I played it alongside Half-Life 2, which is talk about telling an adult-oriented story in a game. Not because it's like really adult with its content or anything, but just as far as the polish and the focus. And I think maybe it was kind of a comparison I was having with that game, weirdly enough, but also the thought of, alright, this is what Sonic's doing, and the thought of like, okay, could this be good? I think the idea is it could be, but it wasn't. And I think just because of how it has issues with its controls, its camera, its frame rate, that really turned me off to it. And it's one of those things that I know they'll never revisit the concept because people hate this game, and I get why, but I also understand in a weird, paradoxical way why people like it. I mean, the potential there could be, but I don't think they're going to go about that way. All Hail Shadow is a personal favorite. I liked All Hail Shadow in this game. I actually like the one in Sonic 06 even more, because that song is, that was, Crush 40 did a version of that in that game. And we can show that off when we do Sonic 06 at some point. Not yet. I'm gonna probably wait till later in the year till we touch that one. And like this one, I'm gonna do off-screen case, because I had that game, I sold it, and then I rebought it. Oh, you like this one more. Okay. Alright, so I mean, there are different styles as far as it, and I guess I could understand it with Crush 40, because in some ways you can think, well, do they sound kind of similar? A lot of the songs, do they necessarily run together in some cases? And in some cases, maybe not. Although, to be fair, I will say this, I'm more familiar with that version than with this one, because I had Sonic 06 more or for longer than this game, so the more I listen to the All Hail Shadow of this, I might like it more, although I have liked what I've heard of it when I've listened to it. So there is that perspective. And, I mean, I would like to see maybe... I mean, I don't think this is necessarily a Doom concept, and I'll say this with 06 when I get to that too, but I just don't think they executed, even though I've had a good time playing it, weirdly enough, just because of the experience of everything, learning new things, learning things from all of you in the chat, you helping guide me through this, through the stories, and that was a great, great thing, and I'm very happy that we did it. I'm glad you guys showed up, and in that way, I'm glad for it. And another case of showcasing, you know, the wide breadth of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. They went more adult with this. It didn't work. I mean, they sort of did with 06. I think, honestly, 06 works better tonally to some degrees than this one does, even though that story has problems with it not adding up as much. Although in that case, they didn't have a bunch of storylines they had to have in line for the purpose of that. But yeah, this was like the start of the Dark Ages of Sonic for a reason, but it's also one that, looking back, is like, well, maybe it's not as much of a big deal now because Sonic is maybe in a little bit of a better place. We're still waiting on what the next Sonic game is going to be. And if they go back to 3D again, which might be interesting, or if they do another Mania, or take on Mania, which I'd like to see eventually. I mean, we're coming up to the 30th anniversary of the series in about 2 months. Actually, like a month and a half now. So, soon enough. By the way, when you beat the last story, you got the Shadow Rifle. I don't know if we're going to show that, but we are going to go to the library as was promised. Or no, we're not going to the library. We're going to the select mode. And we're going to go through a quick look of what other stages we could have went. We could have went to Lethal Highway or Glyphic Canyon this way. We went to the Digital Circuit. From there, we could have went to Cryptic Castle, but we did not. Could you argue that Sonic 06 is the sequel to Shadow the Hedgehog? Yes. Well, canonically it is. I mean, as far as the fact of what happens after this, which is that Shadow joins Gun and starts doing stuff with them, and also, or for them, and with Rouge as well. And to be fair, there is sort of a sequel of sorts in this game, and that might be something. And chat, let me know if you'd like to see this. I'd be willing to do that. Go through each of these missions. If you get an A rank on every single one of them, you unlock the Super Hard Mode, which gives you, I think, all the levels in a row, the way that Sonic Heroes did it. And it gives you new story bits. It basically has you interacting with the characters after the events of this game we just saw tonight. Including the gun commander, who's basically saying, like, hey, I'm sorry that that I did this. My family is going to be having dinner this Sunday. We'd be honored if you came. Most of the plot is revealed through Shadow's story. That's true, and actually, most of the interesting plot in Sonic 06, weirdly enough, is the Shadow stuff. Interestingly enough. And in some ways, I think the elements of how Shadow played in that game was, in a weird way, them kind of cleaning up elements of this one, to an extent. We can get to that when we get to that. But yeah, I'm just going through the other stuff. We could have went to Cryptic Castle, we did not. And if you go to Cryptic Castle, you have a boss battle with Eggbreaker. We run into that a lot. We also could have went to Circus Park, where you collect rings for Tails. And then we also could have fought Eggbreaker again, gone to the Death Ruins. We did Mad Matrix. Sky Troops, which also has one of the interesting lines of, let me start up Sky Troops just to get this line out of the way. And then we'll go back to the menu, because I want you to hear this.
This blue sky, staring at it from afar. Have I seen it before?
Yeah, I don't know if he has. We're going to quickly quit out of this. Or, yeah, you know what? Yeah, let me hit start. I'll quick go back to the menu. I just want to play that line of dialogue. And I think the other thing also I'm going to do is... Okay, that was another bot. Alright, Heavy Dog, right. If we went the other path, we could have seen the gun people. And you have Heavy Dog, which is like one of the fighter troop units, like Bigfoot and Flying Dog and Hotshot from Sonic Adventure 2. And they do have a remix of the boss battle of that from Sonic Adventure 2, so that's kind of interesting. The Doom, which is one of the Arc levels. Central City, this is the one where you blow the bombs up. And I remember when I first played this game, I was kind of disturbed by this to the point where I didn't want to see this mission through, the Dark Method. But then I realized the game kind of totally cops out, because like, oh yeah, everybody's fine. Like, you know what, you're going that direction, you're making me uncomfortable, you're releasing this game literally a week after hundreds of people died in a terrorist attack, without any, you know, mention to it. Yeah, you damn well better, you know, justify that somehow, or follow through, and they don't. I mean, it's not like Splinter Cell or something like that, where like, yeah, they thought that through. It was like, no, not in this case. I was going to went to the Ark, again, where you're going around areas of the Ark from Sonic Adventure 2. So was the air fleet where you feasibly could shoot down the president's, I guess, plane, feasibly killing him, but again, they pull back, saying, like, no, the president lived. I'm like, okay. Either you're going to go dark or you're not going to go dark. The game has it multiple ways, and it doesn't work many ways. And then also the Gun Fortress, where actually, if you... This is the evil path, by the way. You go this way, you come here. There's a cutscene when you come in here where Shadow somehow remembers that, you know, Gerald Robotnik said to him, no, you're going to help people. And he's going on the evil path, and the idea is like, no, he's still going to do this, even though he remembers that. And you're like, oh, because he wants to find out who he is, but he still goes that other way. And there's the Black Comet, which you kind of saw in the final way. The Lava Shelter, which we did. And also the Cosmic Fall, which is a takeoff on the Arc levels. And Final Haunt, which is the, I guess, the Comet, Black Comet element. Oh, yeah, and then there's this one. Lost Impact. This is the one where you have to find... You know, I'm going to go into this just to show you this briefly. Because no discussion of Shadow the Hedgehog is complete without discussing this level.
The experimental monsters are in here. They're on a rampage. Please, you're the only one who can protect the Ark.
Alright, and so Maria's going to get me rings there. Yeah, this is taking the past where we have Maria, and you can actually control Maria with the second player. Yeah, what happened to the past? Yeah, here it is. We're in it. I was going to briefly show this. We're not going to go through the whole mission. Yeah, you have to destroy these things. Remember these annoying things from Sonic Adventure 2? They're in this. They have massive health bars. You have to kill all 35 of these. If you're not careful, this mission can go for almost an hour. And you also do have a map of sorts, but it doesn't help you much. But yeah, I was like, fine, let me see something. Can we do anything with her? No. But she did go and, you know, get the rings for me, so we're all good there. You know what? We're going to say goodbye to Maria. That way, actually, just to give an idea of like what the other mission is.
I'm worried about the professor's safety.
Get to the end, which I did that in like 2 minutes. Whereas the rest of the other way of it goes longer. Although, to be fair, let me show this. Okay, I didn't do too bad when I ran this. I did 13 and a half minutes, or almost 14 minutes on the hero path. Yeah, under 3 for the normal. So that's an easy A going that way. And then the bosses, which I guess let's go and just give a sense of what they are. Yeah, we could have fought Sonic and Diablin, so we could have been fighting Sonic, but that didn't happen. Black Doom, which we kind of fought, but a different way. Sonic Diablin again. The Egg Dealer. Yeah, so here's Egg Dealer. So yeah, it didn't matter which choice we made technically at the end as far as the boss we did. We're still fighting Egg Dealer no matter what. And Egg Dealer there, so like 4 instances of the Egg Dealer. And then 2 of Black Doom. Sonic Diablin, 3 this way, even though I'm going the good path. At the end, it's like, yeah, I've been good all this time. Like, I can say, you know what? Fuck you, Sonic. I'm gonna go bad. I mean, it is my game. I can make that choice, but again, the story doesn't hold to it. So, and it's not like Sonic Adventure 2, where it makes it a little more, palatable that way. Even like the way the last story in Sonic Adventure 2 works. Which we'll get to Sonic Adventure 2, and that'll be fun to that. So, okay, what I'm gonna do in Black Doom at the end. So we're gonna go back to the selection. Also, there is a 2-player mode outside of the fact that when you have a second controller plugged in, you can control the characters that are the non-player characters. I mean, you can even control Maria. We're in Lost Impact. But we're not doing that. And then the options basically is, you know, loading and music and all that stuff. And you know what? And you know what? For the end of this, let's go in here. Let's turn on All Hail Shadow. Because chat mentioned they like this version even more than the Crush 40 in Sonic 06. And it's a good version, it's a good song, and I'll say this, I don't remember much of the soundtrack of this game that much, although the more I've heard of it, the more it's kind of grown on me a little, even though it's kind of a bit samey as far as the styling of it. But still not badly done. It is, Mariko Nanba, I've mentioned before, I mentioned her with Knuckles Chaotix. She did music on this game, I believe, to Tomoya Atani as well. It's a lot of the people who had worked with the games around that point were doing music. And they did decent jobs with it. But yeah, that is Shadow the Hedgehog. It is, the damage was done, clearly, to this franchise with it, and it continued with Sonic 06 the year after that. And in some ways, then it was Sega trying to pick up the pieces of the franchise. But I think, if nothing else, for me personally, there's such an appeal still with Sonic the Hedgehog even to this day, which keeps me still holding on, and nowadays more curious about the idea of... It paints a picture of this franchise, and that's what I'm trying to do this year. I want to go through a Sonic game a month, at least one, to give a picture of, we're 30 years into this franchise, what are we looking at with it? Where is it now? Where has it been? Where is it potentially going? We might get a potentially going question answered coming soon, but we haven't really heard much as far as the games. The most I've heard recently has been the element of, like, the merchandising. Because I think there was a recent revival of what that was. But we'll see at some point, and we'll see as we go, and as we go into the other Sonic games, which, for next month's it is Super Old Game Saturday, that's the name of the show. Do you think Shadow can be redeemed? As a character or as a game? As a game, I think potentially, but I don't know if Sega wants to go back to 3D again. They've teased it. They have, like, the Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube account where they did, like, a remix. It was him and T-Lopes, or Sega and Team Lopes, and Jun Seno, who I think did some work on the music on this game, who put stuff together. And they're kind of hinting it, but it's like, they're never going to go to it. As a character, well, I'll say this. Despite this game, despite 06, I don't necessarily think that Shadow was destroyed as a character by these games, which sounds very weird, given them saying, like, well, wait a minute, what's going on with the story on this? I think in a lot of ways, 06 weirdly kind of made things better for him. I think 06 did Shadow a lot of favors as far as a character in that story. Even though the story of that game is literally retconned at the end, when you really think about it, oh, fine, it's retconned in the end in terms of, you know, Sonic, Elise, and Soliana, but I guess it's not in terms of Shadow, because Shadow's coming off of this game, and the idea of him with Gun, with Rouge, and with Omega. I think in a lot of ways, because, as you mentioned, Electverse, the fact that the story elements are strongest with him, that kind of helps him as a character go. I mean, although then again, people will still feasibly look at this game and say, like, oh yeah, remember this. And I guess feasibly they'll also look at Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric, where he's in it a little, but not much. I don't necessarily think, though, that he's doomed, because I thought Shadow as a character was kind of cool as far as Sonic Adventure. I think the answer, or Sonic Adventure 2, I think the answer, really, if they're going to go back to this, is play that characterization up in Sonic Adventure 2. The idea that he is kind of serious and all these things, and even like the Sonic Heroes element, but also those kind of sly moments he has. I remember in Sonic Heroes, he has that scene where he's talking to Sonic saying, like, you know, we have a date with Eggman too. He says, is that so? Well, let's make it a date to die for. So he's like kind of having fun with that. Or even like the idea of when the thought of the Ark is going to crash in near the last story of Sonic Adventure 2, him saying, you know, like, it's crashing. It's like, oh, it doesn't matter. He's kind of like relishing in it, weirdly enough, until Amy jogs his memory of what that idea was. So I think that perspective as a character, and from what I understand, I think Boom, the television show, I think he was in the show, sort of. So maybe that's the answer. I mean, he was also on Sonic X, although I have not seen enough of Sonic X to know where Shadow came in relation to that. But honestly, I think Shadow has been redeemed to a certain extent. I think the idea the next would be perhaps bringing him into one of the new games, whatever Sega announces, whether it's going to be another 3D thing, whether they do 2D. I think there's potential that the idea of the anti-Sonic or the alternate Sonic, almost in the same way that Wario is to Mario to a certain extent. Apparently Ryan Drummond and David Humphreys are friends in real life, which goes back to the Metal Gear Solid thing of that, and the bonds that come off of something like that. Because when you work on something like that, you remember it clearly. And that fits, interestingly enough, because we mentioned when we did the last Super Sonic Game Saturday, which feels like it's been forever ago, we were quoting the battles they had, and like that was a great moment. That was one of the highlights of that playthrough. And Right, you form those bonds for it, and I think that's feasibly maybe what's going on as far as the chat here and this element of the game. So that's interesting. And I know Ryan Drummond has said specifically, like, with Roger Craig Smith not voicing Sonic anymore, and with Ben Schwartz from the films, or the films when the second one comes out, not doing Sonic for the games, he's saying, like, hey, I'm auditioning. He's kind of being joking about it, but I think he's also being kind of serious. So, feasibly, I'm going to go back also to the menu just to show the cutscene again, the opening cutscene, for the purpose of that. That would be interesting to see that, and see, like, bringing back of a character, a voice to that. I'll be curious to see what that goes to. I'm curious to see what Sega has with this franchise, what they do with it next. I think there's potential for a 3D, for sure. I think Ryan Drummond and Jason Griffith became friends when he did Sonic, which would make sense because it's passing the baton to the character of that character. And thank you for pointing out the idea that, you know, I thought it was like, oh, they replaced the voice cast because Dean Bristow, they had to deal with that with Mike Pollock bringing him in, and like, oh, everybody else went away. But like, okay, that makes much more sense now. And I think the thought that Sega wanted to go to a different direction, and we saw this in the credits briefly, Sega of America was under different leadership at that time. That was, it was initially Peter Moore, who then went on to EA. It was Simon Jeffrey, who was head of Sega of America at the time this game came out, who was at LucasArts before this. I think maybe the perspective, they wanted to go a different direction with Sonic as a franchise and say, like, let's tie it in with the television show, with the voice work and voice cast. And now we see that not happening with the movie, because, like, yeah, the movie voices are not, you know, bleeding over with the games, from what I understand, either before, when the first movie came out, or with the next one, when the next game came out. So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes, and where this series goes. And clearly, if there's anything that's coming off, even if I'm playing a game I'm not liking, I'm always having this good experience of interacting with the chat, getting more of a discussion going on it. And honestly, I'm learning stuff a lot. This is not just me coming in here rattling off a bunch of things saying, look how smart I am. No, not at all. This is a collaborative element. There are people who are giving their input to everything, and I appreciate that so much. I appreciate everybody coming into this and, you know, watching this and having that, they are interested enough to be able to join into this and have that discussion and get to a deeper element. I say, on Super Old Game Saturday, we get into the guts of gaming here, for better or worse or both. And I think that shines through. In a lot of ways, I kind of maybe have more respect even for the games I don't like, or even the games I do like, and that works really nicely, and I love that, and I love the fact that we're keeping this train going with this show, which, yeah, it scared me again when I couldn't get the stream going up right at 7, but it'll be variable when that happens. I guarantee you that. And we're not going to stop this train. This train is going down, or it's going to be, as we saw in the cutscene, it's Shadow on the motorcycle. We're not going to be crashing into that enemy, or if we do, we're like, yeah, we're going to keep going into like a explosion of gaming of every element. Whether it's super old, this is not that super old, it's not ancient, but it's still there, and it puts into perspective this franchise. And I'm not, again, it's not just this franchise that I'm focusing on, but this is the special thing I'm doing this year for the purpose of it, and I love doing it. And with that, next month, Electverse, actually not, okay, it is next month in a week. So yeah, I waited a little later, partially because I got out of elements of my control, and then also now, anyway, to do the Super Sonic Game Saturday segment tonight. So we're going to be doing in 3 weeks is going to be the next one. And it's going to be your choice. Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform for the Xbox 360 running through the Xbox One. It does not have an Xbox One X enhancement, but it still looks really nice. And at some point when I get a Series X, I'll come back to you and tell you how that thing runs on that new system. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference because it runs really well on the 360 as is. I'll get into that when we play that game. But I guess going down the list of stuff that we have down the pipeline along with that one, next week we'll be back at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, give or take. We're going to be completing Katamari Damacy Reroll, which was suggested by Edwalk a couple months ago. We played it a month ago. I'm going to see if I can't get the first part up on the YouTube site. I can now get to the point where I'm going to be starting to put the 2021 stuff up. So it will be getting to a quicker situation when you'll see this playthrough that we're recording now. So that'll be coming soon enough. But Katamari Damacy Reroll next week, along with a little taste of Mr. Jeweler Online, because they're both Namco elements, and there's music similarities to them that I feel are worth pointing out. And it gives a little bit of a puzzle representation this channel, which I've done in cases, and we'll come back to puzzle games for sure, but that's another case of it. And then the week after that, we're starting the first RPG for this channel. We're going to be doing Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo, which is a game I adore, and I am going to love giving that game all the love it's going to deserve. It will be in parts, though, so what happens is when we play a game, we don't finish it for the night. We will come back to it about a month from then. So then we have a little bit of variety. So, like, you're going to not just see the same game every week, but we'll at least... We're not, dropping those things. That being said, there are other games I have actually up on the YouTube site as far as things I've done in parts I have to get back to, particularly Fatal Frame and then Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. I'll get back to those later this year at some point. I'm going to have to figure out when I'm doing those. And I also did the Rayman games at one point, but I don't have the footage, so I'm going to restart those, which will be Rayman 1 on the PlayStation and 2 on the Dreamcast, but that's coming way down. But, yeah. Kamen Damacy reroll and Mr. Driller next week. Super Mario RPG 2 weeks. Sonic All-Stars Transformed the week after that. And then the week after that is going to be Mad Maestro for the PlayStation 2, an underrated game for the system. We're going to be classing this joint up. I mean, if you think, like, this is a pretty classless game as far as the Shadow the Hedgehog element is, and it sort of is to a certain extent. But I guess we've made it classy. I mean, I don't care about classiness, or it has to be, all hoity-toity to that. It's a relaxed element. We're coming in here, we're showing off every aspect of gaming, we're going into it deep, and we're having that fun time. But with Mad Maestro, we're going to the symphony. We're going to be playing classical music in a music rhythm game that I will not be content striked or banned for by playing. Because, yeah, what are they going to do? They're going to go to the estates of Ludwig von Beethoven? Not happening. So I get to show that game off, and that's a game that I like very much, and I get to go into my love of music games with it and showcase a unique and very affordable game for the PlayStation 2 that if you don't have it and you like that kind of thing, yeah, you're going to want to track that down. It's cheap. It's like $10. So at that point, it's like definitely a unique case. And that's another thing I'll have to do on this channel. Showcase games that maybe you haven't played that I know of and have... I mean, the idea of discovery of games. I'm discovering games when you recommend them to me. It's like, hey, I'm going to play Metal Gear Solid. I discover stuff with that, and it's a great experience. And then I pay back by showing games that I know and love that maybe you didn't hear of. Because it shows that vast array of gaming that we have. And how massive this industry has become with that. And all the choices you have. So, in that way, there's that. And then after that, the week after that, I didn't necessarily have anything planned specific. So, I mean, message to chat then is like, if you have other games you want to see that you don't think are being represented necessarily, that you don't see a lot in a stream concept, that you want to come in, you want to have that discussion, you want to show people, you want to let the world know that, hey, this game exists, and it's important for some reason. Even a game like Shadow the Hedgehog, this game is important for this industry in its weird way, because it does showcase the idea of what was this franchise like at the time, and the idea of going darker with a franchise, and giving a good contrast to other franchises that went darker, that did it better, particularly, like Mega Man X is a good example, that took a franchise that feasibly you could say is something for kids, or something that was an all-ages concept, went a little dark with it, and did it justice in the way it did it, at least as far as tone is concerned. And then also seeing, like, how did Sonic do it, or doing the contrasts and the compares to that. So in that way, that's great. So, yeah, in that way, this is an important game for that, and to put the perspective of what this franchise was looking like. So in that way, I'm glad to do it. I am very happy that it turned out the way it did, and we didn't get a game over on Devil Doom, thankfully. I was afraid of that, but that turned out well. And I've had a great time with this game tonight for the purpose of that. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining the chat. I'll be here every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for more classic gaming goodness, badness, anyiness, and we'll go into it, and yeah, the discussions will go deep as you want them, and again, we're going to get into the guts of gaming, and it's going to be glorious. And with Sonic, one other thing. We're doing Sonic and All-Stars Transform next month for May, but also for June, I have the one selected. It's going to be the original Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis and the Game Gear. So we're going to be pulling the original Xbox out another time. In fact, I don't know if I mentioned this. This is the first time we're using the OG Xbox to play anything, to stream stuff. So we're pulling out Sonic Mega Collection Plus one more time. I'm going to adjust the volume better than I had it before. That was my fault with me initially running this mic and not adjusting it correctly. And same with the Mario 35 playthrough, which I'm going to have to like put something up to that when I upload on the channel. But that's still going to be going too. Super Old Game Saturday is on YouTube, so any of the streams going back to October, we'll see. I'd love to see Tetrasphere for the Nintendo 64. That's another one. It's when you brought that up with Shadow the Hedgehog, because that's a game that also suffered to an extent because it's a game I rented with another game that was very seminal, and also a first-person shooter. In the case of this game, I rented Shadow the Hedgehog with Half-Life 2 for Xbox. In the case of Tetrasphere, I rented it with GoldenEye. So, yeah. And it was definitely more complicated than I was expecting. It was a game that actually started, I'll give you a little preview to when we get to this, because I'll have to track the copy down, but I definitely will. It started on the Atari Jaguar, and then it got ported, or moved over to Nintendo 64 and came out here. I love it. Okay. I'd like to see that, and that is an interesting one as far as something that's not represented. That's a game I don't hear a whole lot of people talk about when it comes to a puzzle game. In that case, you're giving me the incentive, and that's the other thing that, you know, if you want to see something, if I have it, we play it. If I don't have it, I'll track it down, and Tetrasphere is not one that costs a massive amount of money, but again, if there's a reason to invest in something like that, I'd get it. But okay, Tetrasphere, we'll take a look at that. Yeah, I'll see what I can do about that, and then we'll come to that at some point. Maybe I can put that as a June selection. Although actually, in June, it's not going to just be me on the show for a couple episodes. We're doing some stuff special to that, and I'll have some announcements going on with that when we get those things a little more clear. But that'll come out, and I'll have Tetrasphere. I will look for a copy of that. It is not an expensive game, but it is one that... I'll say this, it also gives me an excuse to go back to it, but also for a game that... Because when Tetrasphere came out, I was 11. So I didn't know how it worked. I was thinking like, oh, we'll love this game because we'll have Tetris and Tetris Attack. My mom and I played it. It's like, yeah, we're confused on how this operates, but now that I'm older, it might be something that now I can, you know, adjust to it a lot more. And we'll have that discussion. And it is something different. You don't always see games like that. So that's the other point of this channel. Games that I want to show that you don't always see. Games you want to see that you don't always see. And we'll do that and we'll go on. It's unique. It is unique. And that is definitely one of the highest compliments I can give it of what I remember. Because honestly, the last time I played it was in 1997. And again, because I ran it with GoldenEye, yeah, it was right when GoldenEye came out. It was, yeah, that nothing was going to, you know, take my attention away feasibly. But at that case, it would be interesting. And it would be unique. You're right. And that's the other thing I like to do, and going back to the YouTube site as well, doing more unique elements of games and more games that you want to see that are unique to that, and give your perspective, because you might have grown up with this game. You might have a different take. It might be something with Shadow the Hedgehog where I know people say they like this game more than I give it credit for, although again, I'm kind of in the middle with this. I'm kind of feeling a little hypocritical saying like, oh, I don't like this, while also saying like, well, I'm kind of respecting it weirdly in a twisted way. But again, I think maybe I'm just at that age where it's kind of rolling off my back and I'm taking that aspect. And I will say, with Shadow the Hedgehog, if you're going to play this, the Xbox is the place to play it because of the controller, I would say personally, and also because you can get HD running into it a little easier than the other systems. Although it still has some of the same issues with frame rate and with crash bugs, which thankfully we didn't see. I'm glad we didn't see that, because one quick thing before we sign off. The original Xbox has the thing where the feed will cut if I, you know, go into the Xbox menu. If I hit that eject button on my console to go up into that, the feed will cut. And I realize what that is on my television. It says, like, no signal. Whenever it sees that, it means the signal's been lost. And there's certain systems that do that. The original Xbox is like that. So that's the case with it. But yeah, so in that case, I would suggest get the Xbox version. It is the more expensive one because it didn't sell as well as on the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube. Those versions were on the greatest hits and the Player's Choice lines that they do, the budget lines. This wasn't for the Xbox. It was the only game of Sonic, aside from Sonic Riders, that was like that. So, I mean, it costs a little more. I'm seeing like $30, $40 complete online, which isn't too bad, but is going to cost a little more. But I would say that is probably the way to go if you're, you know, pertinent to it. But if budget's reason, PS2, which is like $10, $20, and even GameCube, and even with the GameCube market exploding, this game does not cost a whole lot. In fact, it costs way less than even Sonic Adventure 2 does. I realize Sonic Adventure 2 is kind of a rare game, in a certain extent, or an expensive game. It's like $50, $60 on GameCube. And even on the Dreamcast, it's like $100. And it will be the Dreamcast version will show off when we get to that game. But, yeah, so that'll be when we come down to that. And I will definitely look into Tetrasphere. I will definitely try and figure that out. Anything else you guys want to see, you want to get into the discussion with it, we'll do it. I'm open. Whatever we want, whatever we can show off, we'll show off. And, something I look forward to each week, and I'm glad you guys come in, and I cannot thank you enough for everything, for all your viewership, all of your, you know, contribution to the chat, everything. You guys make this show, and you guys and gals, you all do that, and I thank you so much. And I will catch you next week for Katamari Damacy Reroll finished. And a brief taste of Mr. Driller Online. We'll give you a little nice thing of that. A little bit of an element of a unique puzzle game as well, before you eventually get to Tetrasphere. And now you have other puzzle games to come back to eventually, and other games as well. So, with that, I'm going to close out for Super Old Game Saturday for tonight. Next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is where you want to be for gaming goodness, badness, anyiness, and it'll be an interesting case. So, with that, send us off, Robotnik. Send us off, I'm trying to remember who does the music here for I Am All of Me, but I Am All of Me. This is Super Old Game Saturday, the game where we come in, we talk about games, old, new, everything, and we do it all, and we are proud, loud, proud, and in charge. And it didn't rhyme very well, but this is who I am. This is who all you are as well, joining in. So again, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I'll see you next week for Katamari Damacy Reroll and Mr. Driller Online. Take care.